Day that there has been an exchange, another 30 Palestinian prisoners going back as part of that deal.
Fox's Nate Foy in northern Israel, another release planned for tomorrow. The Pentagon just confirming the U.S. has paused surveillance drone flights over Gaza during the ceasefire. Former First Lady Rosalind Carter is being remembered with a service in Georgia that's brought a bipartisan show of support for the family. All 5 living former First Ladies are there, along with President Biden and former President Clinton. Her husband of 77 years, former President Jimmy Carter, is also there in a wheelchair after 9 months in hospice care at home. And because he's not able to speak today, daughter Amy shared part of a letter he wrote to Rosalind 75 years ago while serving in the Navy.
While I'm away, I try to convince myself that you really are not, could not be as sweet and beautiful as I remember. But when I see you, I fall in love with you all over again.
Mrs. Carter, especially remembered for a lifetime of humanitarian causes. An apology in court from Alec Murdoch, the former South Carolina attorney already in prison for murdering his wife and son, now being sentenced for financial crimes against clients.
The 2 things that I hope you take away today are, number 1, that I care about you, and number 2, that I hate things that I did, and I am so sorry.
Though he still denies committing murder and is seeking a new trial. A new effort in the House to expel freshman New York Republican George Santos, who's under indictment and accused of wrongdoing again in an ethics report. The Ethics Committee chair filing the motion. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
You haven't dealt with these temperatures in a while. 26 degrees, mostly sunny in the circle. Your radar's clear, low of 20 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. It hasn't been this cold since March.
Highs are going to be in the upper 20s for most of the area, but temperatures will actually start warming up during the overnight hours. So the coldest temperatures will be in the evening, and then by morning we'll be into the mid to upper 20s.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service says temperatures will increase as the week goes on. There's going to be some chances for rain Thursday as well. State police in Posey County say they pulled over 2 women for speeding Monday. Sergeant Todd Ringel says police found weed in the car during the traffic stop.
They also found over 10 pounds of suspected methamphetamine in the trunk of that vehicle. So both the driver and the passenger were arrested, and they are currently in the Posey County Jail.
Ringel says both women are from St. Louis. There was a shooting at Connor's Pub in Broad Ripple this morning. IMPD says a regular at the pub showed up and started to cause some problems.
And management asked him to leave. And then by the security guard and bouncer started having a verbal confrontation because the subject did not want to leave.
IMPD Captain Don Wildhammer says the man shot a security guard and ran away. Police are still trying to find him. The security guard is in the hospital and expected to recover. This week is National Tax Security Awareness Week. Sam Fritz reports on a few tips from the IRS.
The IRS and Security Summit released a list of tips for taxpayers and tax professionals this week. It includes knowledge and potential scams that tend to increase around tax filing time. One of these scams is called spear phishing, where identity thieves will call tax professionals posing as clients trying to get them to reveal personal information. As a taxpayer, you should make sure any company filing on your behalf has a written data security plan as required by federal law and uses a multi-factor authentication to protect your information. Sam Fritz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And Colts running back Jonathan Taylor may not play this weekend because of a thumb injury, reports the NFL Network. The medical staff will have to further evaluate the issue before determining when or if Taylor can return to the field this season. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Hey, it's Rob. I started losing hair around my crown, and my hairline was starting to recede. I went to We Grow Hair Indy, and they helped grow my hair back. My friend Dave First, a sports broadcaster for over 20 years, also struggled with hair loss. Dave, what happened?
My thinning hair was bothering me. For me, I'm in the public eye. I'm a dad also, and I want to look and feel my best. And if I'm going to do something about my hair, I want to go with the best. We Grow Hair Indy. They really set the standard.
Dave, that's amazing. I had the same procedure, multi-unit hair grafting transplants, which gives you more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Call 317-522-2995 for your free hair and scalp evaluation. Find out if hair transplants or PRP is right for you.
If you're thinking about this, don't waste your time or money. Go to the experts.
Call 317-522-2995, 522-2995, or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com, the gold standard for hair restoration.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, looking at the west side, we have a ramp that's closed. It's a big one. Overturned semi on southbound 465 to Sam Jones Expressway. Okay, this is a crash and a complete blockage of this off-ramp here at the moment. Looking at the rest of the interstate and 465, looking pretty good right now outside of not being able to exit at Sam Jones. Great traffic sponsored by Arizona State University with ASU Online. You get everything the nation's most innovative university has to offer. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu. That's asuonline.asu.edu. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We'll see some sunshine later this afternoon. It is going to be cold and breezy with highs near 27. Partly cloudy and cold tonight. Lows fall to 21. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Do you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! It is the Hammer and Nigel show. I'm Jason Hammer. Big Nige is here.
Hello.
We might have to get the keg on ice.
Really?
We may have to get the wings on the smoker. We may have to call all of our rowdy friends because there could be a tailgate party to plan, Big Nige.
Okay.
Let's not waste any time. Let's check in with gun-toting, crack-smoking, stripper-poking Hunter Biden!
You smoke crack, don't you?
Don't smoke crack.
Then the next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead.
We may get Hunter Biden in front of the Oversight Committee, Nige. Hunter Biden expected to have a deposition December 13th. Now, before everybody gets excited, before everybody starts making plans to call into work sick and watch the oversight hearings, understand this. This could easily fall apart because now both sides are wanting demands. So Hunter Biden is willing to testify before James Comer and the House Oversight Committee, but only if it's a public hearing and there's no closed-door deposition that happens first.
Okay. Yeah, no, I want it to be public.
Well, normally there's a closed-door session first, and then there's the public.
They want to see what he's going to say first, and then they open it up. But screw it. I mean, these guys, the Republicans on this House Oversight Committee are flamethrowers, from Jim Jordan of Ohio to, Byron Donalds of Florida, Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I want to, Nancy Mace. I want to hear them. I want to see them turn the screws to this guy.
And I'm with you on that 100%. But Hunter Biden doesn't get to dictate the terms. He doesn't get to call the shots. And that's what Comer, the chair of the Oversight Committee, said earlier. Hunter Biden is trying to play by his own rules in regards to an appearance before our panel. That's not how it works. And when you are on the receiving end of subpoenas, you're not the shot caller. This is Garrett Hake of NBC News.
It doesn't look like a done deal at all. This is a flurry of letters back and forth on Capitol Hill. First from Hunter Biden's attorneys saying that they would accept an invitation to come and testify on December 13th, but only if it were in public. Well, just within the last half hour or so, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer responded with a letter of his own that essentially says Hunter Biden doesn't get to play by his own rules and that the committee prefers to have everyone come in first for a closed-door deposition. Comer does go on to say that he does believe Hunter Biden should testify in public eventually.
So with Hunter Biden only wanting to do this out in the open, that tells you everything you need to know, right? He wants this to be a total circus to where everybody is laughing at what's going on and the lunacy of things coming out of everybody's mouth. He doesn't want to be on the record really for anything. I think this is actually a pretty smart move by the Oversight Committee demanding that he come in and we have a deposition off the record, behind closed doors before we have this out in the open.
I mean, look, what's going to come of this is the big thing. What has come so far of these oversight committee hearings?
Big plate of nothing.
I mean, we've had hot takes. We've had, some evidence of, LLCs being opened in the name of Hunter Biden's sister and, Joe Biden's granddaughter, all, multiple, look, I want to know what happened in Ukraine. I want to know about Burisma. I want to know about the multiple LLCs. Why, 10% for the big guy on the laptop. Is this your was that your laptop, by the way?
Right.
That you're currently trying to sue civilly the owner of the computer shop. So many questions. But the thing is, it's just an oversight committee. They can't charge him with any crimes, even if they present evidence as such. They have to turn it over to the DOJ. And does anybody believe that Biden's Department of Justice is going to charge him further with any crimes? They already tried to set up a sweetheart plea deal for the gun charge.
He still hasn't paid his taxes.
Yeah.
And we know for a fact that that's an issue. It's been brought up before, and he still hasn't had to pay back the back taxes. So this thing could completely fall off the rails. I know we're all excited for it. We're going to get good sound bites. We're going to get back and forth, lots of gotcha moments. But when it's all said and done, you are absolutely right. Nothing will come from this because that's the track record of what the Republicans do. Whether it's fighting with big tech on censorship or trying to go after Hunter Biden for being a big key to the Biden crime family where grandkids were getting money from the Chinese, nothing is going to come from this. I hope I'm wrong.
And the icing, I think Comer does have a mountain of evidence against not only Hunter Biden, but the real goal here is the big guy, Joe Biden. The icing on the cake is Comer. He needs to be able to link then Vice President Biden communicating directly to Hunter about the energy company Burisma just before he got that Ukrainian prosecutor, Viktor Shokin, fired while he was investigating Burisma. That's the direct link they need to use right there.
So we've checked in with Hunter Biden, and now we're going to shift gears, and we're going to check in with wheeling, dealing, hair sniffing, kiss stealing Joe Biden.
I got hairy legs. Take a test where you're taking cocaine. Come on, man. You ain't black.
So let's take a trip down memory lane here.
Sure, would love to.
Remember a few weeks ago when the war in Israel was officially underway, the war in Ukraine was still underway, and Joe Biden looked into a camera and said this.
The single existential threat to the world is climate change. We don't have a lot of time, and that's a fact.
Yeah, that was after October 7th.
Yes. Multiple wars, multiple fires burning, and Joe Biden looked at the camera and said, yeah, I get all that, but climate change, this is the most important thing. We've got an update. There's a big climate change summit happening in Dubai. Joe Biden is skipping it.
He can't. Dude, he doesn't have the capacity to survive that time change, let alone the travel.
And is that the bar? The president can't make the flight?
I mean,
let alone this being like his pet thing, right? Climate change. We're all going to die tomorrow because, the oceans are going to rise and everybody's going to drown to death. We're at the point now where we don't even think he can survive an Air Force One flight over there.
Let's see, Dubai time change. I don't know. Let's see what that is here.
It's a substantial time change. There's no doubt.
Yeah, that would knock anybody out. That would knock me out.
But it's not like he's flying Spirit. He's on Air Force One. You can let him sleep on there. You can bring him the finest meals imaginable. You can put him up in the back in his own suite. It's Air Force One. He's not on that Frontier flight where the lady dropped her underpants and peed in the aisle. He's the president of the United States.
It's currently a little after midnight in Dubai.
Okay. Well, if the bar is he can't make the flight, that's embarrassing. But what's more embarrassing, the fact that he can't make it, or he's Mr. Climate Change. He's the face of climate change. There's a big climate change summit where he said it's the most important thing, and he looks at the camera and just goes, waves it off. And maybe it's an age thing. I don't know. Karl Rove jumped on with Trey Gowdy of Fox News over the weekend and was talking about the age situation with not just Joe Biden, but Donald Trump as well.
Well, look, if it's Trump versus Biden, yes, Trump can win. Biden can win as well. You're absolutely right. This is an election in which more people are going to be voting against the opponent than voting for their guy. I've long thought that the party that figures out a new and different face than Biden or Trump is the party that's going to have the advantage in 2024. The American people don't want to have a contest between, a 78-year-old and an 82-year-old. They want to pass the torch, if you will, to a younger generation of leaders, and that's why the American people believe both men are too old to be president.
Well, polling for Trump says otherwise, by the way.
Exactly. The American people have the opportunity to pick somebody younger, but they're not doing that. They're voting for Donald Trump in droves in regards to the primary. Not necessarily the general, but these primary poll numbers, Donald Trump's rolling. All right, Matt Baer, what's going on?
West Side ramp closed at southbound 465 to Sam Jones Expressway to eastbound Sam Jones Expressway. A semi rolled earlier this afternoon. The tows on scene could be closed for another couple of hours. We will keep you up to date. Crash at Cold Spring Road at Lafayette Road. Traffic sponsored by Boost Infinite. Boost Infinite's new wireless technology switches between networks for the best service at a lower price. Switch today. Go to Amazon.com and search for Boost iPhone 15 today. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Cold weather stinks.
Man, what did he say, 26 degrees right now?
It's 26 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Going to be a low of around 19. Wind chill could be a little worse than that. Cold weather's just the worst. I hate taking out the trash. I hate starting my car in the morning. I hate walking out to get the mail. I don't like wearing pants anyway. But now I really got to put some pants on if I want to walk to my mailbox. Coming up next, we have an update on our charity bowling event. We are getting down to the nitty-gritty. We have an update. I think you're going to like it. Next.
Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? George and Megan at yourcoverage.net can help. George and Megan have helped countless individuals and families save 30 to 60% on health insurance with superior coverage. George recently saved a family of four $800 a month with the Aetna Network $0 deductible and $0 doctor office copay plan. This is not a government-sponsored health insurance plan. So if you're uninsured, recently lost your job, on COBRA, or are paying extremely high rates for Obamacare or your work coverage, George and Megan will help you if you meet the flexible guidelines for health insurance. Yourcoverage.net will provide you the best coverage at the lowest rate. Their goal is to give you peace of mind and the utmost in healthcare. Go to yourcoverage.net and see for yourself, or better yet, call George and Megan at 1-800-491-5500. That's 1-800-491-5500. Or go to yourcoverage.net. That's yourcoverage.net, a premium personalized healthcare plan managed and designed by you, not the government.
Do you have a crawl space? Do you know what's in your crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, a real local Indiana family-owned crawl space and basement repair contractor. Protect your family and your home from your unhealthy crawl space by calling Indy's most trusted, award-winning experts for a free crawl space consultation at 317-407-1868 or SwainCoLLC.com. And don't forget to ask about our easy, no-interest, no-payment financing.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here, and the holidays are right around the corner, which means all the food prep, and then you throw everything down the garbage disposal. Don't let a clogged kitchen sink ruin your holiday spirit. Consider upgrading to a premium disposal before it's too late. Call my friends at Hope Plumbing today for a premium garbage disposal and get $200 off. Leave the dirty work to Hope Plumbing so you can get back to your holiday fun. Visit hopeplumbing.com for all their holiday specials.
My husband Bob has Parkinson's and he needs more help now, and I need more support to help him. Thanks to Indiana Pathways for Aging, we're getting the support we need to help him right here at home, like with meal prep and basic personal care and even respite support for me.
Pathways provides Hoosier Medicaid members, age 60 and over, support for care their way, so they can live life their way. The program begins in summer of 2024. Call 87-PATHWAY-4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
That kitchen or bath remodel you've been ready to start? With inflation rising, waiting is just going to make it more expensive. Start that remodel today. Hey, it's Tony Katz for Booher Remodeling. BOOHER. BooherRemodeling.com. Get on the schedule now to avoid some of those price increases. Booher Remodeling is the finest remodeler in Central Indiana with the best materials and most skilled craftsmen. They'll guide you through the entire process to make your vision come to life. Go to BooherRemodeling.com to set up your free consultation. BooherRemodeling.com.
With the holidays upon us, the increase in traveling, shopping, and connecting online also heightens the need to protect your identity and finances with LifeLock. Identity thieves see this time of year as an opportunity to drain your accounts, open new loans in your name, and damage your financial future. LifeLock detects and alerts you to threats you might miss on your own. Don't let the busy holiday season catch you off guard. Save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Santa Claus was on his way when a mean old Grinch crashed into his sleigh. Santa called the hammer, and the hammer saved Christmas Day. Go to WeWin.com.
Merry Christmas from the Hammer. This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store. You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The Hammer and Nigel Red, White, and Bold, presented by, oh man, this is going to be good, Jack Daniels.
Yes, sir!
It's a big bowling event we're having in January to benefit veterans. Woodland Bowl 6 to 9 there, 96 in Keystone. The last I saw, we just opened up some more lanes because the demand was so high, correct?
Yes. So earlier today, we sold the event out. Which means, first of all, God bless all of you guys. You guys are awesome for supporting this charity event. We went to our promotions team and said, any possible way we can get some more lanes opened up. And the awesome folks at Royal Pen said, all right, here's what we're going to do. 5 new lanes and a few individual tickets have opened up. So if you want to get a team of 6 together, you can buy a lane right now. They just opened up 5 new lanes. And if you don't have a team of 6, that's okay. If you just want to come by, hang out, maybe bring a friend or whatever, you can buy some individual tickets. Individual tickets are $75 a piece. And a team, I believe, is 75 times 6. So you have an entire lane right there. So go to WIBC.com. The events page, that's where you can buy your tickets. We've also got it linked on our social media, Facebook and Twitter. I'll put an Instagram story out there with all the information. It's a great cause. We're helping out some veterans. And what you get for your money is pretty solid. 3 hours of bowling from 6 to 9, a pizza buffet, a free beverage. We're going to be giving away prizes. There's a silent auction.
Beer Sample Friday meets Jack Daniels.
Oh, that's the best. That's like that scene in Commando where Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers have that awesome high five. Beer Sample Friday, giving that high five to Jack Daniels, baby. And I think we're doing our show out there as well.
We are. Yeah, so you can show up early.
You want to pre-party, tailgate a little bit with us?
I got to tell you, I got to work on my bowling game, man, because I'm pathetic right now.
I stink. My son's really good, but I stink.
Does he get a team together?
Yeah, I think he's got a squad.
Okay, I want to be on his team. I'm not going to be. I need somebody to pick up the slack because I went to where'd I go with my dad on Saturday? The moms and the cousins of the kids on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, went to see Trolls, the new Trolls movie.
Okay,
and me and my dad went to the to Punch Bowl downtown, right in the mall. And we did 2 rounds of bowling. He beat me the first time and tied the second time, and he's got bad knees.
Oh, man.
It was, my late 60s dad beat me soundly the first time. And then I let him come back on me the second time. So I need work.
I do, too. Like, you would think I would be better than I am because my son bowls in college. He's got like the curveball going and everything. I throw it straight and I throw it as hard as I can. I know that's not the proper technique, but I'm bringing the heat, baby. That's what we're doing. So get your tickets while they last. They just opened up 5 lanes. This might be the last call. I don't know how many more they can get, but WIBC.com. Miss Allison, I need some mood music. We've got breaking news. Dolly Parton's Rockstar album is number 1 on Billboard's top album sales chart.
You're kidding.
So think about all the artists that are out there right now. The number 1 spot on album sales belongs to Dolly Parton.
I mean, we've been talking about this rock album of hers for months, it seems like.
Feels like longer than that. It's like waiting for Top Gun Maverick to come out. Just put the thing out there already. Here's a little montage of Dolly Parton with some other famous artists doing some covers on this Rockstar album.
Every game you play, every night you stay, I'll be watching you. Oh, baby, I love your way. Every day. Every day. I can't get no satisfaction. But I try, and I try, and I try, and I try, but I can't get no. You're a heartbreaker, dream maker.
And most of these songs,
most
of these songs, she's doing the cover song with the artist that originally performed the song.
Right. Like the beginning, with Sting doing Every Breath You Take.
Can you? I've just got to hear. There's also the Stairway to Heaven song on here, but she does it with Lizzo.
It's at the very end of that montage there.
Here, wait.
Allison.
I got to pot me up, Allison.
Okay.
Because.
Will dawn for those who stand long.
Lizzo. Somebody else called Sasha Flute. Sasha.
Yes, there are 2 paths you can go by.
This is on her Rockstar album. It sucks. Okay, please stop.
Stairway denied.
I love Dolly Parton. Rocky Top, Tennessee. I love everything about Dolly Parton. But doing a cover of Stairway to Heaven with Lizzo sucks in every possible way.
Yeah, I don't think my mom usually gives me an iTunes gift card for Christmas, and I don't think I'm going to be downloading the Dolly Parton Rockstar album, even though it is number 1.
It is number 1. We once had a chance to sit down and speak with Dolly Parton, and we asked her, hey, Dolly, what do you think about our traffic guy, Matt Bear?
Well, I say we hire a couple of wranglers to go upstairs and beat the shit out of him.
That was our interview with Dolly Parton about Matt Bear. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, the only real estate agent, should I say real estate expert, that I trust to sell my house or find me a new one, Mark Deedle. Matt in Shelbyville knows this. Here's what Matt in Shelbyville had to say. Quote, "It was time for me to sell the last of my investment properties and use the money elsewhere. There is one guy I trust to get it done, and it's Mark Deedle. I've sold many houses with Mark, and this time was no different than the others. Mark got the job done as expected for the price I needed."
A lot of people ask us, why do you guys talk about Mark Deedle so much? Well, it comes down to this, the guarantee. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That is what separates Mark Deedle, the guarantee. Contact him today, 317-755-4232, or go online, markdeedle.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdeedle.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly.
I would recommend QC to anybody.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
Super successful, and I
recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's been cold today, mostly sunny and 28 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. All clear on your radar. Low temperatures expected to hit 20 degrees tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:30. Certain parts of the state had temperatures in the single digits this morning. Ryan Hedrick reports.
There's a reason for that, and it's called the wind chill factor, says forecaster Andrew White.
Winds right now gusting, occasionally 15 to 20 miles per hour combined with these temperatures in the teens. We're seeing wind chills right around zero across portions of north central Indiana.
The National Weather Service says the entire state was about 10 to 15 degrees below the normal average for this time in November. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
State police say they found a lot of drugs after a traffic stop along I-64 in Posey County Monday.
About less than 30 grams of suspected marijuana, but they also found over 10 pounds of suspected methamphetamine in the trunk of that vehicle.
Sergeant Todd Ringel with Indiana State Police says they arrested the two women at the car. They were from St. Louis. More than 24 metric tons of humanitarian aid for Gaza was delivered by the U.S. today. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
A U.S. Air Force C-17 delivered more than 54,000 pounds of medical supplies, ready-to-use food, and other critical needs to Egypt, where UN trucks will transport that assistance into Gaza. The U.S. is planning additional flights in the coming days as relief agencies try to surge aid during a multi-day pause in military operations as part of a deal for Hamas to release hostages. USAID says the administration has mobilized $100 million in humanitarian assistance to help civilians impacted by the Hamas-Israel war. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Former President Jimmy Carter's at Glen Memorial Church in Atlanta to remember former First Lady Rosalind Carter. The former president's son, James, said his mother always made sure to stay informed.
In the White House, Mom asked Ed so many questions that he finally said that she should attend cabinet meetings. So she did and caught a lot of flack for that. But she was then able to speak with authority on issues across our country and the world.
President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden were also there. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:32.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-1509. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-1509. 800-555-1509 or biglou.com.
With traffic at 3:33, here's Matt Bear.
Harrison, the ramp reopened on the west side. The southbound 465 to Sam Jones. The overturned semi is cleared. The ramp has reopened. A crash, Cold Spring Road and Lafayette Road. Another one at Beech Grove, Emerson Avenue at Churchman. Northbound 69 on the northeast side, slow off 82nd. Southbound lanes also tight from 96 down to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by B Window. The annual B Window Black Friday sale has been extended. Get up to 52% off all products plus 10% in manufacturer's rebates and 20 months. No payments, no interest. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly clear for tonight. Low temperatures in the low 20s. Wednesday, plenty of sunshine. High temperatures returning into the mid-40s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Take some time, little girl, in the
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, boy, there's a big red clickbaity headline on Drudge Report right now, Hammer.
Is there clip art attached to it?
There is not the siren clip art yet, but it is red. That means it's serious, and they really want you to click on it.
What do we got?
China brings back masks and social distancing in chilling echo of lockdown over mystery outbreak 4 years on from COVID.
So they're masking people up again in China? Is that what I'm supposed to take from this?
There's a respiratory outbreak in China, mainly involving kids, and it's like welcome to winter. These outbreaks happen in pockets everywhere across the world this time of year. Now they're saying, kids in hospitals, they're packed in pockets all over the country in China, but could it be that the parents are in a panic after COVID and taking kids in when they don't really need to be? I mean, the United States and the UK went through this in 2022. Right. You remember, I mean, it's just this time of year. I look, the WHO, for whatever that's worth, the World Health Organization says there's nothing unusual. There's no new pathogens. It's not a lab leak or anything like that. I can trust those guys to prefer, as far as I can throw them.
I was like, damn it, you're making me choose between the Chinese government and the World Health Organization? It's the same thing, right? So it sounds familiar. Like we're getting close to an election year in this country, and the chatter is becoming more and more about, well, there may be a new variant. Well, China might be masking people up again. Gloria Estefan, can I get your thoughts on this?
Put on your mask.
Remember this?
When you go out in public.
This was a real thing.
Put on your mask. Help save the world from COVID.
I was kind of annoyed with Dolly Parton. She ruined Jolene.
She made it vaccine.
Vaccine. Shut up.
The thing about Jolene, and we talked about this on Wish TV, when Dolly Parton came out there at that halftime of the Super Bowl, and she had the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader outfit on, and those big rockin' country cans were out there, I started thinking to myself, the song Jolene is about how some woman is about to steal Dolly's man.
Yeah.
Well, what the hell does Jolene look like? Because Dolly still got her fastball. She's 70-something years old, but the good stuff's only in its 20s. So what the hell does Jolene look like if Dolly's worried about her? Maybe we need to get a look at Jolene.
It was so funny watching that game, too, because the announcers, Tony Romo and Jim Nantz, were on the call, and Tony Romo would not shut up about how hot Dolly Parton was, and it was making Jim Nantz very uncomfortable.
Romo was ready to party.
Yeah, he was.
Romo was ready to go. Like Jim Nantz was trying to do, the calm, peaceful, let's bring it back to football. Tony Romo was like unbuttoning his pants, I think, at one point. He was down for some action.
Like I was awkward. I felt a little bit awkward listening to that.
Speaking of something awkward, I did not see this coming. The Black Lives Matter Rhode Island founder, a guy by the name of Mark Fisher. He's the guy that founded BLM, their chapter in Rhode Island. He went on Fox News and said he's supporting Donald Trump.
I'm sorry?
In the 2024 election. Take a listen to this. Fox News host Lawrence Jones, who's a black guy, sat down with Mark Fisher, the head of BLM in Rhode Island, and they talked about the upcoming election.
This is my favorite story of the day, because it identifies with what I've seen in the barbershop. All the brothers, for some reason right now, are turning tides right now. And I just wonder, what is the big reason?
I think personally, it's the duplicity of the Democrats. The hypocrisy. We're not stupid. The brothers are not stupid. We understand when someone's for us and when someone is not. And it's obvious that the Democratic Party is not for us. Their policies actually strike at the heart of the black family and the nuclear family.
You know, you were a part of Black Lives Matter. You founded it there. And now you're saying, you're not saying the entire Republican Party. You're saying Donald Trump. So what is it about Donald Trump? Is it the economics? You noted the black family. What is it going to take for him to shore up this support amongst black voters?
Well, I just think that it's going to take information. A lot of people are misinformed. They don't really understand because they don't educate themselves on Donald Trump as a person and his history. But if they do that, and it's going to take, leaders, educated leaders, getting the word out there, I think that it'll happen on its own.
Joe Biden responded by saying, if you don't vote for me, you ain't Black Lives Matter.
I'm laughing, but there's a chance he probably did say that at some point, too. I mean, this is interesting because for so long, it's just been pre-programmed. For a lot of folks in the black community, you vote for the Democrat candidate, right? Well, if you sit down, like this guy said, and you look at what the Democrats have done for minority groups in this country, what they've promised and what they've actually done, maybe it is time to make a different decision.
Everybody in this country, no matter what color you are right now, is pretty much in misery, in distress, suffering under Joe Biden. Okay? It's not just one, it's everyone. And people are waking up to that.
I think it was Ellen Griswold who once said, it's the holidays and we're all in misery. Amazon is reportedly eyeing some office space in Florida because Jeff Bezos, who's still going through his transformation into Pitbull, is getting ready to leave Seattle and move permanently into Florida. Lower taxes, better for business. So much like the song and dance we did a couple of years ago, where everybody was vying to get that new Amazon headquarters, it sounds like this time Jeff Bezos is like, all right, build up Miami. We're putting a factory in there.
Wait a minute. I thought Florida was the state run by Republican Ron DeSantis, who was, banning books and getting rid of, quote unquote, black historical history in colleges and voting rights being violated. But wait, boy, they must have cut him a sweetheart deal, though. Taxes. I mean, first of all, there's no state income tax in Florida, which is awesome. If you've never lived in a state, I lived in Texas for 2 years. There was no state income tax. It was awesome.
Was everything else more expensive, though? Because that's one of the things I hear.
Well, I mean, the liquor was triple taxed three times over. Yeah.
The state finds a way to get their money.
Sure.
Like if they're not doing it on income tax, they're doing it another way.
But I just thought, there were LGBTQ people that were taking to TikTok saying, "I'm moving out of Florida. This is an oppressive state. How can ultra radical progressive Jeff Bezos, ultra leftist Amazon be moving to Florida? Tell me what's going on here."
The New York Post claims that Bezos is seeking roughly 50,000 square feet of office space. This is from an Amazon spokesperson and Jeff Bezos confirming to the New York Post.
It's almost like Seattle just sucks.
Right? Maybe the Oklahoma City Thunder, who used to be the Seattle Supersonics, were ahead of the game. They looked at what was happening there and said, look, you guys may be into basketball, but this place sucks. We're getting the hell out of here. We're bringing Kevin Durant out of here, and we're leaving. Now, Durant ultimately left them, but that's neither here nor there. But again, it feels like it's deja vu here. It seems like only yesterday, Nige, I was writing a letter to Jeff Bezos and Amazon, trying to get Indianapolis to get that Amazon hub, and I was trying to tell him why Miami was a bad choice. Dear Jeff Bezos, thanks so much for making our city, Indianapolis, a finalist for your second corporate headquarters. We think Indy is a great choice, much better than some of the other cities on your list, like Miami. Did you know that Miami is the official guys that wear too much cologne capital of the world? Here's some more info on Miami. The city's chief imported good is cocaine. Yes. And the city's chief exported good is cocaine. Yes. Plus, on really hot days, you can smell the corpse of Fidel Castro wafting over from Cuba. Here's some news from the future. Amazon selects Miami for their second corporate headquarters. Here's more news from the future. Hurricane Kenny has destroyed Amazon's second headquarters in Miami. $5 billion in damage, 50,000 employees dead. Miami is a confusing city. The breasts on their women? Fake. But the rafts arriving on shore carrying 8 or 9 defecting Cubans? Very real. And you have to ask yourself this. If Miami was such a great place, why did LeBron James leave it to go back to Cleveland? Think of your female employees. Preliminary numbers have shown that every one of your female employees will eventually be impregnated by Don Johnson, Vanilla Ice, or Dan Marino. Do you want that on your conscience? Thanks so much for your time. Sincerely, the Hammer and Nigel Show. I think the letter still holds up. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Man, I love my brand new garage floor from Galaxy Concrete Coatings. These guys came in within a day, made my old, dirty, cracked, decrepit, gross garage floor, turned it into something spectacular. It's brand new. They've got an awesome staff. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com or call their office 751-9070. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. My new Galaxy Concrete garage floor is out of this world. Hey, Hammer, over here, pay attention. Did you hear about Bill Dennery, our retirement guy? We're both customers of Bill's. He's helping Indy residents add an instant 13% bonus on top of the retirement savings.
So if my Beech Grove High School education is correct, every $100 gets you an extra $13 more, right?
Yup. And it adds up. You can get $13,000 for every $100,000.
That's a pretty solid bonus.
Yeah.
I can take that.
Yeah,
That's good.
I mean, it is. And you get an extremely competitive return year after year. Over the last 10 years, it's been anywhere like it's been like 7% and backed by one of the world's largest insurance companies.
And I guess that's why Indy calls Bill Demery your retirement guy. So if you're listening right now and you want a 13% bonus, what should people do?
Call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. But it may not last long, so call 317-648-5120.
Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
Tony Katz here, and if you know me, you know I like my bourbon, and just like you, I like a good deal. So let me tell you about Hotel Tango Bourbon. Hotel Tango is a distillery right here in Indianapolis, started by Travis Barnes, a Marine who served 3 tours in Iraq. He wanted to craft spirits with the same discipline he learned in the Marine Corps. That's what Hotel Tango does. I've tried his bourbon. It's wonderful. It's a 4-grain bourbon with a distinct mash bill. You get a little caramel and some of that aroma. You get a nice rye kick to balance it out. I'm not the only one who thinks it's good. Wine Enthusiast gave it a 94, and it won a gold at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. It's also under $40. Did I mention that? One of the 10 best bourbons under $40, according to Wine Enthusiast. Try it for yourself. Head down to wherever you buy fine spirits and try Hotel Tango for yourself. You'll be supporting local, supporting veterans, and getting yourself a great, sippable, enjoyable bourbon at a great price. Thanks to Hotel Tango for sponsoring the show. Hotel Tango, distilled with discipline. HotelTangoDistillery.com.
Life is a collection of moments that last forever, so make them matter and make them count with a symbol of everlasting love. A diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Extended Black Friday. Up to 52% off all products, plus 10% in manufacturer rebates. For a limited time only, go to bwindow.com.
Hey, we're pretty social people at WIBC. You can find us all over social media. See what we're up to on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. We're never more than just away. Just search for 93 WIBC.
And we are on YouTube, streaming live. The in-studio camera is rolling. Look for the YouTube feed, WIBC's feed, and then the in-studio camera. You can look at Big Nigel's awesome bucket head. You can see me lurking in the shadows. It's a very high-tech production that we've got going on here.
Literally my nickname when I was a kid growing up, my dad gave me. Old Buckethead.
Matt Bear, what was the nickname you had as a kid, or can you say it on the radio?
I can't say it on the radio. I had a bunch of them, mostly from my friends. Looking at Eastbound 70 right now, stop and go.
Hey, Buckethead, give me a beer.
Harding Street over to Meridian, Illinois. That's stop and go traffic. Inbound 65 loads up from 21st to Meridian Penn. Crash Cold Spring Road to Lafayette Road, 1 in Beech Grove, Emerson Avenue at Churchman. Traffic sponsored by B Window. The annual B Window Black Friday sale has been extended. Get up to 52% off all products plus 10% in manufacturer's rebates in 20 months. No payments, no interest. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up in about an hour from right now, day 2 of Biden Madness, the in-season tournament. We will crown the winner from yesterday and have a new matchup for you coming up about an hour from right now, around 4:48. 27 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Let's do a little good news. Tired of all this craziness. Tired of the bad news. Let's do some good news. This Kentucky student was adopted by her principal after initially being punished for throwing a cup of yogurt at lunch. After hearing her story, Jason Smith and his wife, Mary Beth, decided to foster Raven and eventually adopt her back in 2017. Here's Jason and May Beth, along with their daughter, Raven, talking about how they all became a family.
She said that she had thrown a cup of yogurt at lunch, and I asked, well, if you were out at a restaurant, would you do that there?
And I was like, I've never really been to a restaurant. I don't really have a family. I'm in a group home. They say that a mother falls in love with her child at first sight. And I can remember Raven walking into that room that day, that scared little kid, and I just knew in my heart, this is what it's supposed to be. The same weekend, we went and painted the room my favorite color, teal. I just knew that everything happens for a reason.
You know, it's one thing for a family to adopt a baby or a toddler that has gone through the foster care system. It's another thing for them to adopt a teenager, which I'd have to think that is a rarity.
That's tough.
It's incredible.
It's tough for everybody involved, the kid and those doing the adopting. But did you catch what she said there? These are the things that we take for granted. This teenager, whatever, says that I've never really been to a restaurant before.
That's incredible. Oh,
how often do we go out to eat?
Yeah.
All the time.
You don't even think about it.
Right. And here's a young lady that has never really been out to a restaurant before. That's unbelievable,
By the way,
man.
Indiana, I'm very close with people that are involved with foster care and the DCS here in Central Indy. It needs a lot of work, and that is a major understatement. I'll just leave it at that.
So you wanted good news, right? Well, I can't help you with that. I've got some bad news.
Oh, no.
A restaurant's $1 burrito event has been linked to a norovirus outbreak.
Oh, no. That's the stomach flu, right? Oh, no.
Bunch of college kids up in Chicago learned a very important life lesson this past week. If somebody offers you a burrito for cheap, be very, very suspicious. There's a Mexican restaurant near the campus of Northwestern that had dollar burrito event last week, and now it's been linked to the norovirus outbreak, often known as the stomach flu.
Yeah, somebody doesn't wash their hands, they use the bathroom, and then they start prepping food. It's so contagious, so easy to pass. My family had it at the beginning of 2022. We all got it instantly. I don't know how we got the stomach flu, but it was coming out of both ends, and we were all... I couldn't get out of bed for 3 days. The kids recovered pretty quickly. My wife was in bed for about a day. We got it late Sunday night, and I wasn't able to get back here to work until Thursday. It's awful. It's one of the... I'd took COVID 10 weeks in a row before I ever go through something like that again. I've rarely had it. I've only had it a few times in my life, but man, oh man, you might as well just close that restaurant down. I would never go back there in a million years.
Remember when Matt Hasselbeck was the quarterback on the Colts, and he was the backup quarterback, but I think it was Andrew Luck. Somebody got injured, and he had to be the starter.
Yeah, he had it, didn't he?
He got a bad burrito, and man, he had to make it through a game, an NFL game, battling that kind of stuff.
How do you... I mean, you're clinching the whole time.
Right. I mean, that is Boy, some photo finishes, I'm sure, on some of those quarterback hits. If you're looking for a reason to drink tonight, I think this is a fun reason to drink. 29 years ago today, on this very date in 1994, Jeffrey Dahmer was beaten to death by a fellow inmate while cleaning a prison toilet.
Wow.
I think that's a reason to celebrate, right? One of the most horrific mass murderers this country has ever seen.
Serial killer died, I believe, with the end of the plunger or the broom in his buttocks.
Right.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Did you watch that thing on Netflix?
I did
that
not.
Show? I can't watch it. I cannot watch it.
That guy, whoever the actor is, looked just like him.
Exactly. I can't get through that stuff. Put that in my head anymore. I refuse to watch it. I heard it was very, very dark.
My favorite part of that is I saw an interview with that guy. Now, I haven't seen the show, but he said, like, when they weren't filming, they'd go to, like, McDonald's or something for lunch. And he's in full Jeffrey Dahmer costume walking into, like, a McDonald's to eat, and everybody's creeped out and looking at him.
Wouldn't you be?
100%. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Low T Center has literally reinvented men's health care. At the Low T Center, they make it easy. You walk in, you take a simple blood test, and with their on-site labs, you'll get your results back in about 25 minutes. So if you've been feeling tired, if you've been feeling grumpy, noticed weight gain or loss of muscle mass, these could all be signs of low testosterone levels. But you got to do your homework. You got to go somewhere you can trust. That's why we recommend Low T Center.
The Low T Center is not like a typical doctor's office where you got to wait in long, ridiculous lines. The Low T Center, they are concierge medicine exclusively for dudes. They can check all types of issues with a guy's health. And they also have monitored self-inject treatments that ship directly to your home. And right now, it's only $25 to get your T level tested, and you get your results back in about 25 minutes. LowTCenter.com. Book that appointment online today. LowTCenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Have you saved enough? Do you have a plan for Social Security and taxes in retirement? Hey, Casey Weed of Howard Bailey Financial, where our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we want to give you our Retire with Purpose toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you can't outlive. Plus, you'll receive a copy of my book, Job Optional. To get your complimentary toolkit, call or text the keyword INFO 42 to 866-482-9559. That's INFO 42 to 866-482-9559.
Howard Bailey Financial is the official wealth management partner of Notre Dame Athletics. Notre Dame Athletics was compensated for this endorsement and is not a current client of Howard Bailey. For more information, please visit howardbailey.com/ND disclosure. Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
Between global jihad, China, Russia, and our southern border, we are in for a long and protracted battle. You need to prepare for the worst. Protect your home, protect your family, and protect your investments. It's time to reach out to the Oxford Gold Group. They make it simple for whether you are buying more gold, diversifying your 401k, or buying gold for the first time. Call 833-995-GOLD or visit jessekellygold.com. That's jessekellygold.com.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your independent, locally owned American Standard hometown dealer in Johnson County, Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling. Are you tired of the free air conditioner or furnace sketchy claims and want an honest quote with honest pricing from people who live and work in your community? Call Marshall Mechanical. Just go to callthemarshallnow.com to schedule an appointment. Financing options are available. Subject to credit approval, call for details. Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling, your American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer in Johnson County.
Electric vehicles are here to stay. And if you're looking for an electric vehicle, Andy Moore Ford is your EV headquarters. More selection. Get to Andy Moore Ford to shop the Mach-E, the E-Transit, the F-150 Lightning in stock, and more arriving daily. Save more at the pump when you switch to an Andy Moore Ford EV. Say hello to more rebates with federal and state incentives. You could save more. How's over $7,500 sound to you? But the benefits don't end there. Purchasing an EV with Andy Andy Moore means you can take advantage of excellent services like more to your door, more peace of mind. With over a decade of experience in selling and servicing electric vehicles, Andy Moore Ford's EV experts are here to answer all of your questions, from sales to service, parts to maintenance. Check out Andy Moore Ford. Find them in Plainfield at 2713 East Main Street, 2713 East Main Street. Andy Moore Ford. Andy Moore, M-O-H-R. AndyMooreFord.com. That's AndyMooreFord.com.
Extended Black Friday. Up to 52% off all products, plus 10% in manufacturer rebates. For a limited time only, go to bwindow.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, John Herrick reports on a security guard shot at a Broad Ripple pub. State police found meth in the trunk of a car in Posey County, and temperatures aren't normally this cold this time of year. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
A second sentence for a convicted killer. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Former attorney Alec Murdaugh, who's serving life for killing his wife and son in South Carolina, just sentenced again to 27 years in prison after pleading guilty to financial crimes against clients, some giving victim impact statements.
Jordan James broke down in tears and said he felt so betrayed as he had felt close to Murdaugh.
The money you stole from me, you could have asked me for it and I would have gave it to you if that's how I felt about you and your family.
Another victim who'd been in a car accident and was represented by Murdaugh said she forgave him.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Murdaugh apologizing to the clients, but still insisting he did not commit murder, as his lawyers seek a new trial in that case. 12 more hostages released by Hamas in exchange for 30 Palestinian prisoners on day 5 of a temporary ceasefire that's scheduled to continue for at least one more day, while aid for Israel remains in limbo on Capitol Hill after the House passed a standalone bill instead of President Biden's $105 billion foreign aid package.
There's been no more enthusiastic supporter of a comprehensive supplemental than me. I think it's important for Israel, for Ukraine, for Taiwan, and also to secure the border.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell, as some progressive Democrats push for conditions on aid to Israel. The life, love, and compassion of former First Lady Rosalind Carter honored in Georgia.
My grandmother doesn't need a eulogy. Her life was a sermon.
Jason Carter, one of several family members paying tribute not only to Rosalind, but to the Carters' 77-year marriage and many charitable endeavors.
Imagine all the people.
Country star Trisha Yearwood with husband Garth Brooks on guitar. Former President Jimmy Carter, 99 and in hospice care, was there in a wheelchair. Stocks finish higher. The Dow up 83 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Still looking for their suspects. Mostly sunny, 27 degrees on the circle. Your radar is clear, low of 20 degrees expected tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. A shooting at a pub in Broad Ripple. John Herrick reports on what police know so far.
Around 1:30 Tuesday morning at Connor's Pub. That's when IMPD says a man who is a frequent customer came into the pub and started to cause problems.
And management asked him to leave. And then by the security guard and bouncer started having a verbal confrontation because the subject did not want to leave.
IMPD Captain Don Weilhammer says the man ended up shooting a security guard and then ran away. The police are still trying to find that man. The security guard is in a hospital and is expected to recover. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
State police say they found 10 pounds of meth stashed in the trunk of a car being driven by two women from St. Louis Monday. They were caught speeding on I-64 in Posey County.
It's mind-blowing to me how many individuals that are transporting illegal drugs in their vehicles that continue to drive at high speeds and do other reckless things on our highways.
Sergeant Todd Ringel says the driver, Demetria Gray, is charged with dealing meth. Weed was also found in the car. A cold storage facility in Boone County is expanding. Sam Fritz reports.
The United States Cold Storage Facility in Lebanon recently received approval from the local city council to expand their Lebanon Business Park location up to 60,000 square feet. Molly Whitehead, executive director of the Boone County Economic Development Corporation, says that this is just another step in Boone County's economic growth.
This announcement just underscores Lebanon's in particular, but Boone County's interest in continuing to attract agribusiness-related companies to the area.
The expansion is expected to be completed in 2025. Sam Fritz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
It's not normally this cold in late November.
Temperatures are running 10 to 15 degrees below normal for this time of the year across the Indianapolis area.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service. He says it will warm up as the week goes on. There's also a chance for some rain Thursday. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Mark Dietel, real estate expert, only real estate agent I'd trust to sell my home and to find me a new one. Maybe you've got a growing family you want to expand, or maybe you're empty nesters and you want to downsize. How about Jackie and Terry in Wanamaker? They're entering the next phase of life, and they wanted maintenance-free living. They needed to sell their old home for a good price for retirement. They wanted to sell quickly. Mark Dietel sold it quick for the price they wanted, closed in under 30 days.
Nigel, did you know that Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it? That is the Mark Dietel guarantee. Call him today. Get all the information right now. 317-755-4232. That's 755-4232. Or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark, Dietel, markdietel.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, here's Matt Baird.
All right, Harrison, this is a crash on the west side, 10th near Chapel Hill Road. Also a crash, Cold Spring Road at Lafayette Road. Eastbound 72 downtown, stop and go from Harding to the south split turn north, and you'll encounter a crash on the left shoulder. That's near Washington Street. Southbound 65, stop and go 29th to Meridian, headed on the south side. Eastbound 465 slow from Kentucky Avenue to the White River. Traffic sponsored by Boost Infinite. Switch to Boost Infinite Wireless. Call 855-55-BOOST. Visit boostinfinite.com or go to amazon.com and search for Boost iPhone 15. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly clear for tonight. Low temperatures in the low 20s. Wednesday, plenty of sunshine. High temperatures returning into the mid-40s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Hey, my name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. A shooting in Broad Ripple last night. This time at Connor's Pub. You think back to 2019, Hammer. Connor's Pub had a shooting that involved a pretty popular pillar of the community there in Broad Ripple. A part-time bouncer shot and killed. They found that guy that did that, and he's spending 80 years in jail. What happened last night?
So, at Connor's Pub, the same place, around 1:20 a.m., they had a regular, like a frequent visitor, somebody that, goes to Connor's all the time, got into some sort of altercation and shot a security guard. And again, this was after midnight, around 1:20 in the morning. IMPD says the security guard was listed in stable condition at the hospital. But again, man, there's just something going on in Broad Ripple lately. And we've been saying for a while, the crime that's downtown isn't just going to stay here. It will ultimately make its way into other parts of central Indiana. And we're starting to see that. Even in some of the areas where you don't normally associate crime, you're seeing a little bit more. You hear more headlines, and it's been a rough year for Broad Ripple.
Yes, I mean, you have, of course, the same business had the security guard. Again, a popular guy, very well known in the community there in Broad Ripple, shot in cold blood in 2019 outside Connors. Shooting in June left 3 people dead, another one injured. Shooting in July, injuring 4 people. And people are solving their differences with guns right now. I mean, that's plain and simple. It's just they have no regard for human life. They don't care about the consequences. They don't care about dying. They don't care about going to jail. They just care about wielding what they perceived as power over another human being and ending their life.
And let's stop with the whole argument that like Joe Hogsett and Ryan Mears are going to make. It's a gun problem. It's a gun problem. I got a funny feeling, just a hunch, that the majority of the people that are shooting people in cold blood in crowded areas don't give a damn about the gun law.
Oh, I've just been waiting for them to institute constitutional carry.
Now I can finally go shoot that security guard that I've been wanting to do all these years.
Ridiculous.
It's a horrible, rotten person problem. It's not a gun problem. If these people had knives available, they would have used knives. If they would have had guillotines available, they would have used guillotines. Guns were probably the easiest thing they could find, so they used them. But bad, rotten actors will be and will do bad, rotten actor things. And it's been a rough year for Broad Ripple. It got so bad at one point, if you remember, and we talked to a couple Broad Ripple business owners, they, and I'm using air quotes, voluntarily closed down early because a lot of the business owners in Broad Ripple felt like they were being scapegoated by the mayor's office.
Well, not only that, but there was one or two problem bars in Broad Ripple that was having the most difficulty, should we say.
Right.
They weren't monitoring their clientele, and I think that was causing a problem for the rest of the bar community there.
And the way that construction had been in Broad Ripple.
Oh, my gosh.
It hasn't been conducive to economic success for these business owners. And if there is a situation where people need to flee, people need to evacuate, a lot of the construction and closures and fencing kind of made it like fish in a barrel, where everybody was trapped in, and then it became chaotic. So it's been a really rough year in Broad Ripple. Man, I'm starting to hear more and more about this Jonathan Taylor injury for the Indianapolis Colts.
Colts running back?
His status is in doubt for this upcoming big divisional game on the road down in Nashville against the Titans this Sunday. And according to a report from the NFL Network, Jonathan Taylor injured his thumb in the game last week.
No.
And now he will require, quote, further evaluation for the injury, and all options are being considered.
All options were considered for Anthony Richardson as well.
Right. All options usually is fancy talk for the injured list.
It's amazing to watch Jonathan Taylor run and find little tiny holes in that offensive line last week to make for big yardage, wasn't it? Because when they finally did give him the ball,
right, I would have liked to have seen more of it, to be honest with you.
I thought there's no way he's getting anywhere through but he was not only able to, make 20, 30-yard runs, but also get and score a touchdown as well. So he is. I mean, is he the face of the franchise?
Yes.
At this point?
Well, he's paid to be the face of the franchise, that's for sure. So if he can't go, whether it's for 1 week, multiple weeks, or the rest of the year, Zach Moss,
he's been doing well.
Who's been doing pretty well, would get the bulk of the carries. Now, keep in mind, Zach Moss, before Jonathan Taylor came back, remember there was a little drama at the beginning of the year. Zach Moss led the league in rushing through like 3 weeks of the NFL season. So keep an eye on that story. Betting community, do not make your wagers until you find out what happens with Jonathan Taylor.
You learned your lesson with Burrow, correct?
Yep. I have been burned by an injury bet before. Just when you think somebody's healthy and they get off the bus and then you find out they've been injured the whole time, it kind of stinks. Today is what's known as Giving Tuesday. So if you keep track of what's going on, there was Black Friday, where you go out physically to the stores and do your shopping. Cyber Monday.
Don't forget about Small Business Saturday.
Small Business Saturday, where you support the mom and pop shops. Cyber Monday, where I believe you do your cybering. And then
is that how it works?
And then today is Giving Tuesday, where a lot of people make charitable donations. Here on the Hammer and Nigel show, we encourage you to do one of two things. Number one, buy a ticket to our bowling event coming up, because that's going to a great charity that helps out veterans. And we've got the WIBC Radiothon to benefit the Salvation Army Bed and Breakfast Club coming up here, not this Friday, but next Friday. So if you want to make a charitable donation, you can do it there. But take a listen to this. There's a story out right now about some of the most bizarre items people have donated to Goodwill. Okay, because today's Giving Tuesday. Some people donate to Goodwill. And this list was put together with help from Goodwill workers and shoppers, okay?
Do you donate to Goodwill? Have you ever pulled
I've
up
dropped
and
off,
unloaded?
Yeah, bunch of old clothes the boys have grown out of and things like that. So take a listen to this. According to this list from actual Goodwill workers and shoppers, these are some of the more bizarre things people have donated to Goodwill. A guillotine.
Like a real live, honest to goodness, head chopping guillotine?
The employee says it went for $30 inside the store.
Good deal. If I'm looking around for a guillotine, the first place I'm going is Goodwill.
You know who I bet bought it? Guy Relford. I got $5 that he's also the guillotine guy. Other things on the list, a glass jar labeled fart. June 1975.
Oh, wow. I mean, I wonder what a glass jar labeled fart from 1975 goes for on the secondhand market.
A rock, just a normal rock, and Goodwill put an $11 tag on it, and it sold.
Okay.
A Louis Vuitton purse with human teeth inside of it. Again, this is a list of bizarre things people have donated to Goodwill. The list put together by Goodwill workers and shoppers.
Now, if you purchased that glass jar labeled fart June 1975, if you're the one that bought that, you open that sucker and take a whiff, right?
Yeah. You want to smell Peter Frampton when you open that thing up.
What?
A chair shaped like a Labrador retriever.
Cool.
A glow-in-the-dark Ouija board.
Okay.
A coffin. Oh, hell, Kenny died last week. Somebody go over to Goodwill and see if they got any coffins on special. Underwear for squirrels.
Okay.
Now, I'm not above buying underwear for squirrels. Who's going to try to put it on them? Because those things, they don't seem like they're calm. Like you don't get a squirrel to just sit down and take it easy while putting the underpants on the squirrel.
Seems like they're rabid.
Right. A compromising painting of Rosie the Robot from the Jetsons.
A compromising painting?
It shows Rosie the Robot posing provocatively.
Yeah.
Bags of garbage have been donated to Goodwill. And a basket of taxidermy kittens.
That's morbid. That's disturbing. That's creepy.
I'm curious to know if they sold the glass jar labeled fart June 1975.
Because it doesn't have a price for that.
Right. Maybe it's still on the shelf and it's, going to appreciate in value.
Are you buying it for the jar or what's inside, supposedly?
Both is the correct answer to that. Matt Baer, what's going on?
Hey, we're looking at southbound 65 stop-and-go traffic, 29th at 2 Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slow to downtown from Harding Street to Meridian, Illinois. On the south side, southbound 465 stop-and-go traffic from I-70 to the White River, and we do have a crash. Cold Spring Road to Lafayette Road 1 in Beech Grove, Emerson Avenue at Churchman. Traffic sponsored by Isaacs and Isaacs. Dogfight injury, call Isaacs and Isaacs. The law firm Indiana has trusted for over 20 years. They'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve. Click and get help quick at WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now it's cold. Expect cold weather to continue forever. Because it's Indiana, it's the winter time, and we're not going to have like an 80-degree day again until probably June. Not to be Debbie Downer, but we all know how this works, right? 27 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
Okay, so you need a change in lifestyle, right? You need a healthier lifestyle. You need to get more physical activity, but the thought of joining one of those giant big box gyms where they play loud music just kind of makes you squirm. Get on the program with Exercise Inc. I've been with Exercise Inc. for years now. It's just a different, totally unique way of working out and getting your body the physical activity it needs. It's a strength training program that lasts for 20 minutes. and it's only once a week. Once a week for 20 minutes with Exercise Inc. could change your life. Don't get me wrong, it's a really tough 20 minutes, but it's safe enough that anyone can do it. I've been doing it, like I said, for years. I don't get winded anymore when I'm chasing my kids around the house. And your personal trainer, your coach, is going to help keep you accountable outside the gym and give you guidance on diet and eating habits and routines. 5 locations: Fishers, Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood. I go to the one in Zionsville. Check out exerciseinc.com for more. Exercise Inc. Change your life in 20 minutes a week. Hey, Hammer. Over here, pay attention. Did you hear about Bill Denry, our retirement guy? We're both customers of Bill's. He's helping Indy residents add an instant 13% bonus on top of the retirement savings.
So if my Beech Grove High School education is correct, every $100 gets you an extra $13 more, right?
Yep. And it adds up. You can get $13,000 for every $100,000.
That's a pretty solid bonus.
Yeah.
I can take that.
Yeah,
That's good.
I mean, it is. And you get an extremely competitive return year after year. Over the last 10 years, it's been anywhere like it's been like 7% and backed by one of the world's largest insurance companies.
And I guess that's why Indy calls Bill Demery your retirement guy. So if you're listening right now and you want a 13% bonus, what should people do?
Call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. But it may not last long, so call 317-648-5120.
Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
With the holidays upon us, the increase in traveling, shopping, and connecting online also heightens the need to protect your identity and finances with LifeLock. Identity thieves see this time of year as an opportunity to drain your accounts, open new loans in your name, and damage your financial future. LifeLock detects and alerts you to threats you might miss on your own. Don't let the busy holiday season catch you off guard. Save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store. Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Yeah, Hammer, how do we play? Is this anything?
I will run some stories by you. You will be the one, Big Nige, that weighs out all the information and gives us a verdict. Is the story anything or not?
All right.
A video has gone viral of an employee at a Walmart in Illinois giving a sad, emotional farewell on the store's PA system.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to play you some audio here. Now, the second part of this clip is her in her car afterwards reflecting on the past 10 years of working at that Walmart.
Attention Walmart, this is Gail Lewis, 10-year associate, signing out. Good night. So today was an end of an era for me. It's a happy sad because I'm going to be going to a better job. Those people became like family. I've been through a lot with them. They watched my back. I watched theirs. They helped me out. I helped them out. We even went through a pandemic together. It just hurts, but it's a happy sad because where I'm going to be better off where I'm at.
Wow, imagine being upset that you got a better job and you get to leave Walmart after a decade. But it sounds like she had really nice coworkers, a good experience there.
Right, it was the people that she'll miss.
Have you ever worked anywhere for that long? 10 years?
ZPL.
Okay, you were there for over a decade?
Yeah, I think it was right at 10 years. I started from just being the promotion weasel all the way up the food chain.
I've been here. I started here in this building in 2002. Took a little break, but I think all in all, I mean, it's been 18 years, I think.
Well, the break counts, though. You don't get to say 18 years. If you had a break, I think then you have to reset, right?
Then next year it'll be 10 years.
Okay. Do they still pass out watches around here if you've been here? Like
that was just That was when Emmis and Jeff Simoleon owned us. I did get a watch.
You did?
Yeah, I did get a watch.
Okay.
So they counted it.
Okay.
They counted it. They didn't count the break. So I got the watch after I came back and was working here again.
So this woman had a very emotional, positive experience saying goodbye to Walmart.
It's nice.
Great moments in quitting your job history.
I knew it.
Here's somebody that had a different experience leaving Walmart.
I've been a loyal employee here for over a year and a half, and I'm sick of all the bullshit, bogus write-ups, and my job. Management, this job, and Walmart.
Listen to the round of applause he
there
got
was
there.
cheering. So that was on the PA at Walmart.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Great moments in quitting your job history. Scarface leaving his job in Half Baked.
You, you're cool. And you, I'm out.
And last but certainly not least, this one gives you the full range of emotions. The episode of Seinfeld where George Costanza quits his job, but then comes back and acts like nothing ever happened.
This is it. I'm done. Through. It's over. I'm gone. Finished. Over. I will never work for you again. Look at you. You think you're an important man? Is that what you think? You are a laughing stock. You are a joke. These people are laughing at you. You're nothing. You have no brains, no ability, nothing. I quit.
Is that Costanza over there? What are you doing here?
What?
Am I crazy? Or didn't you quit?
When?
Friday.
What, that? Are you kidding? I didn't quit. Wait, you took that seriously.
You know, that's a true story about Larry David, the co-creator of Seinfeld.
Is it?
When he was writing for Saturday Night Live, he was so miserable. He had a big blow up and then realized what he did and just kind of showed back up the next day to work, and nobody said anything.
He just kept going back.
That's a real life experience.
Is this anything? The first ever World Cup for picking up garbage took place in Japan this past year.
Sorry?
The World Cup for picking up garbage. And the British team ended up taking first place. Here is a member of Team USA talking about their strategy for, again, I can't stress this enough, the World Cup of picking up garbage.
We did really good. We stayed together. We just tried to really focus. Sometimes it was really hard because there wasn't really that much trash. But that's when we had to look a little bit deeper, like in the bushes, or just really focus on the cigarette butts on the floor.
No, this is nothing. This is some sort of environmental group that puts on this thing every year. It flies different people in from different countries all over the world, which leaves a huge carbon. Worried about the environment. Really, they could have just hired the people that cleaned up San Francisco. I mean, they got that done within a couple of days when the communist Chinese dictator was in town.
Okay, so here's the contest we need. If you really want the World Series of picking up garbage, you have the people that were tasked with picking up San Francisco to make it look clean for President Xi against the people that clean up the Motor Speedway the day after the Indy 500. Because they do an immaculate job.
I know.
All those groups, man. And there's some crazy stuff that they find. So that is the true World Series.
The British, I don't know what Team USA, I don't know where they finished, but the British team took first place and brought in 126 pounds of rubbish.
I'm going to start calling trash rubbish again. I think it's more classy. Like, it doesn't matter what you're wearing. It could be a tuxedo T-shirt with the sleeves cut out, but if you use the word rubbish, I think people respect you.
And doesn't Kevin from Home Alone use the word rubbish when he was talking about the movies that he was watching?
He does.
I'm eating junk food and watching rubbish.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Diamonds Direct, best jewelry store ever, baby. You can make a holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. Lots of amazing gift ideas. That's what my least favorite parts about Christmas is coming up with good ideas to get my loved ones. Lots of amazing ideas. Stunning eternity bands, classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer. All good ideas from Diamonds Direct.
And look, if you don't really know exactly what you're looking for, the experts, the amazing staff at Diamonds Direct, they can help pick out that headliner gift, that home run gift that you're looking for. So for some fabulous ideas See the online seasonal gift guide at diamondsdirect.com or stop by the beautiful showroom at Keystone at the Crossing. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, Diamonds Direct. They got special financing right now so you can spread out your payments. Get all the information, get all the hours, diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Are you a translator for your spouse? Are you the one always on the telephone because your husband or wife struggled to hear? You need to check out RelayIndiana.com and CapTel, the captioned telephone. The CapTel phone allows the hard-of-hearing person to enjoy conversations through voice recognition technology, with the other person's words appearing on the easy-to-read screen. Go online to RelayIndiana.com for more information about CapTel and let your spouse enjoy their own phone calls. Visit RelayIndiana.com now.
Hey there, it's Hammer and Nigel with some fantastic news from AAA Hoosier Motor Club. For a limited time, our listeners can grab a one-year AAA Classic membership and enjoy a whopping 50% off. I can vouch for the savings. My AAA membership practically pays for itself.
And let's talk about their legendary roadside service. Flat tire, dead battery, run out of gas, lock your keys in the car. AAA's got your back 24/7, 365. Visit AAA.com/gift. 844-GO-AAA-GO or swing by your local AAA office today.
Butler Ballet presents their holiday tradition of Tchaikovsky's The Nutcracker, accompanied by the Butler Symphony Orchestra and Indianapolis Children's Choir. Join Butler Ballet and revel in the magic and spectacle of live ballet. Spectacular dancing, beautiful costumes, glorious scenery, and pyrotechnical flash. Catch this holiday classic November 30th through December 3rd at historic Clues Memorial Hall. Tickets and more information at butlerartcenter.org.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's going to warm up some. 27 degrees, mostly sunny in downtown Indianapolis. All clear with the radar, low of 20 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:30. It's been cold today, and you may even have seen some snow falling during your morning commute, but temps are supposed to warm up, and it could rain in a few days.
So we're expecting rain to arrive again Thursday evening into Thursday night. Pretty widespread rain Thursday night into Friday.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service. He says temperatures aren't normally this cold in late November. There was a shooting at Connor's Pub in Broad Ripple Tuesday morning. IMPD says a regular at the pub showed up and started to cause problems.
And management asked him to leave. And then by the security guard and bouncer started having a verbal confrontation because the subject did not want to leave.
IMPD Captain Don Wildhammer says the man shot a security guard and he ran away. Police are still trying to find him. The security guard who was shot is in the hospital and expected to be all right. The FBI is investigating after the former Minneapolis police officer convicted for killing George Floyd was stabbed in prison. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison says the FBI will look into what led up to Derek Chauvin being stabbed last week. Colts owner Jim Irsay has told The Athletic that running back Jonathan Taylor will have surgery on that injured thumb, which was reported earlier today, and he's going to be out for a few weeks. A decision on whether or not to put Taylor on IR will be made later in the week. Hundreds of people paid tribute today to former First Lady Rosalind Carter. Fox's Gernal Scott reports.
For all the stories of how connected Rosalind Carter was with President Jimmy Carter politically, this tribute was about their 77-year love story. James Earl Carter III said having them as parents was invaluable.
They've given us such a great example of how a couple should relate.
Amy Carter read from a 75-year-old letter her dad wrote as Navy service kept them apart.
Every time I have ever been away from you, I have been thrilled when I returned to discover just how wonderful you are.
The theme was family and what the Carters had for decades, and honoring, as one called Rosalind, the glue that kept them together. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
The closing bell report brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow up by 83 points to 35,416 today. The NASDAQ increasing by 40 to 14,281. And the S&P 500 rising by 4 to 4,554. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:33.
At Absolute Wealth Management, LLC, we understand that your retirement and taxes are inseparable. And if you're over 50, we're offering a special deal to kickstart your financial journey in 2024. You can have your 2023 tax return prepared and filed, including Schedules A, B, and D, for just $79.95. This can be the start of a lifelong profitable partnership with Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. All our retirement planning clients will continue to receive the substantial discount for tax filing and preparation as part of our ongoing retirement marathon that focuses on protecting everything you've worked so hard to build while still providing growth to help elevate your lifestyle in retirement. Take absolute control of your retirement. Call us now at 317-288-0634, 317-288-0634, or visit AbsoluteWealthManagementLLC.com. Investment advisory service is offered through Gradient Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Gradient Advisors, LLC, and its advisors do not render tax, legal, or accounting advice.
The traffic at 434. What's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison, slow to downtown. Southbound 65 stop and go MLK to Meridian Pad. Eastbound 70 stop and go from Tibbs Avenue to Meridian, Illinois. East side southbound 465 slowing up from Washington down to Arlington Avenue, and on the southwest side southbound 465 stop and go from 70 to the White River. Traffic sponsored by B Window. The annual B Window Black Friday sale has been extended. Get up to 52% off all products plus 10% in manufacturer's rebates and 20 months no payments, no interest. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly clear for tonight. Low temperatures in the low 20s. Wednesday, plenty of sunshine. High temperatures returning into the mid-40s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Yeah, I think this is a win for Nikki Haley and a loss for DeSantis. Hammer, the Koch brothers, got deep pockets. They're billionaires, and they have this network called the Americans for Prosperity Action, who donates to heavy Republican causes. Put their weight behind Nikki Haley, the official announcement coming this week. And so I think DeSantis thought he was going to get that endorsement, but no, he is he lost out on a lot of money here from that endorsement.
I'm curious, man, to see what happens in Iowa, because all of the polling from the state of Iowa shows that Donald Trump landslide. But we've seen wacky things happen with the Iowa caucuses. And honestly, even if you lose Iowa, let's say Donald Trump does lose Iowa, it's not the end of the world. A lot of people win Iowa, and then their campaigns fizzle out as they get on to other states. For the Democrats, I believe it was Pete Buttigieg won Iowa and won another early state, and then fizzled out because he ran out of money. So let's see what happens in Iowa. But you're right. If they're not going to spend their money on Donald Trump, and it looks like the Koch brothers, big-time donors, don't necessarily like Donald Trump, it came down to Ron DeSantis against Nikki Haley, and Nikki Haley was the recipient.
And Nikki Haley goes back a long way with this political network, these donors, Koch brothers, with all the way back to the Tea Party, and when she ran for governor of South Carolina.
So there's a little relationship there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm curious. Again, I've never been somebody that thinks Iowa's the end-all to be-all. If you win Iowa, it's not over. If you lose Iowa, it's not over. But a lot of time being spent in that state by Ron DeSantis, and right now he's trailing in the polls. He's losing out to big donors. Does this make this debate that he's doing with Gavin Newsom later in the week, Nige, all that much more important?
Well, I just like I like the appearance of the debate. It's like they don't even, him and Newsom aren't even considering anybody else. It's like everybody else that's running in the GOP and in the Democratic primaries, they're also rans as far as DeSantis and Newsom are concerned. I don't care who else is running. This is the debate. These are the two candidates that people want, America want, and we're going to do this debate. That's at least what it appears to me to be happening here.
Now, on paper, Ron DeSantis should beat up Gavin Newsom on policy.
I mean,
But
California's a disaster.
But man, Gavin Newsom, he is a used car salesman. He is a slick used car salesman. He speaks well. He wins people over. He's a decent looking guy. He's got that charisma that wins people over, so you don't notice the horrible job that he's actually doing as the governor. So for those who think Ron DeSantis is just going to bulldoze and, beat the brakes off of Gavin Newsom here, man, pump the brakes a little bit, because Gavin, he's not afraid to do this. It's a win-win for him either way. He's going on Fox News. He's going into the lion's den, which he's done before.
Yeah, with Hannity.
And even if you say DeSantis wins the debate, whatever that means for you, Gavin can go back and tell his crowd, I went on Fox. I debated against Ron DeSantis. Sean Hannity was the moderator. He wasn't rooting for me to win, and I held my own. I did well. And when Joe Biden steps aside, perhaps, that's when Gavin Newsom says, I deserve to be the guy at the top of the ticket. So there's a story in the NBA about a player named Josh Giddey. Now, I talked about this a little bit earlier with Rob Kendall and Casey Daniels when I appeared on their show.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard a little bit of that.
There's a lot of layers to this, and nothing, let me just say for the record right now, nothing has been confirmed. But if you type in Josh Giddey's name on Twitter, you're going to see this dude, this 21-year-old ball player, being called every name under the sun, being dragged for being an alleged pedophile. Now, the story is that when Giddey, again, plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Where's he from?
Australia.
He's an awesome
Australia kid. Pretty good ball player. He's their point guard. He was in a club. He was 20 years old. It was an 18 and over nightclub. So he's in this 18 and over nightclub, and he hooks up with a young lady. Well, there are stories, and again, let me make this clear. Nobody is confirmed, but stories on social media, because there's pictures, claim that the woman he hooked up with was not of legal age. She lied to get into the club.
Fake ID or something like that?
Something. So they have relations, and there's a post-relation selfie of the two. And somebody pointed out, wait a minute, that's the point guard of the Thunder, and that's a woman that I know is not of legal age. So this Josh Giddey cat is being called every name, being called a pedophile. But his argument is, listen, I was in an 18 and over club. I was 20 years old. I figured everybody here had to be 18 years of age. I didn't card her before we, had relations.
Well, he should have talked to Derek Jeter then, gotten some advice from him.
Right. Derek Jeter gets your information, you leave your phone and your keys there, and you get an autographed basket the next day.
So is there criminal charges, or is this just
No. Both sides have not said anything, but this only is a topic on social media because somebody recognized the photo and said, whoa, hold on here. It was a poor decision to take a post-coitus selfie. That never works out well for anybody.
Yeah.
But is there something to this? And Allison, I want to get your perspective here. As a female here, should we vilify this basketball player for hooking up with this chick? Does this video and does this picture vindicate him in any way for saying, listen, she was in an 18 and over club?
I don't know. It's tricky because, too, it's not like the girl was also speaking out and saying she's been assaulted or anything, right?
No. Both parties are being silent.
That doesn't matter. If law enforcement gets involved.
Correct.
And you're a 20-year-old guy and you hooked up with an underage girl that, quote-unquote, lied about her age, that's not an excuse.
Right.
It's not in terms of law enforcement. Oh, she lied about her age? Oh, okay, well, you're off the hook. No, that doesn't work like that. But as far as you say, there's nothing criminal going
Nothing
on.
yet, anyway. The league has said they're looking into the matter. The NBA has. Nothing legally yet. But if you're Josh Giddey and you go back to your team, the Oklahoma City Thunder, or you're hearing with the NBA, and you say, I haven't done anything wrong. I was in a club. I was not drunk. I was not drinking. I did not have any weapons on me. Everybody in there had to be 18, and I met a girl. And if the pictures of this girl are on social media, she looks like she's in her 20s. She looks old. Yeah. And you end up doing the thing.
You know the thing.
Do you have a case there at all? Like,
yeah. I'll wait for more information on this one before I make give a definitive answer. But it sounds like this was some sort of misunderstanding. Like, who can trust what's on the internet anyway? Yeah, that's what's going to happen on Twitter when you post something like that. You're going to get dragged through the mud.
Right. Never, ever, and I can't stress this enough, post a post-relations selfie.
And by the way, the league, just like the NFL, just like Major League Baseball, they don't have to wait for a criminal investigation. They don't have to wait for anything. They can do whatever they want. Look at the Major League Baseball picture that got dragged through the mud for 2 years.
Right.
Without any charges being filed.
But see, that's the thing. Like, Trevor Bauer was his name. His reputation has been completely ruined, even though he didn't do anything wrong other than have consensual, rough relations. And that's not my opinion. A judge refused to press any charges against Trevor Bauer.
Yeah.
So, again, there's a lot going on here. I hate for this 20-year-old guy's reputation to be soiled for the rest of his life if he didn't think he was doing anything wrong here. And my wife, because I was talking to Crystal about this, brings up a good point. It's chicks like this that give real victims problems, because now nobody wants to believe real victims.
Absolutely.
When, people like this sneak into nightclubs, take selfies, and now nobody's saying anything, but sooner or later she's going to have to speak on something, right?
Could you not be older than 21 to be in this nightclub, or was it just like an 18 years of age?
18 years of age and up.
Okay. All right. So are you allowed to drink alcohol in this club, I wonder? If they check your ID and you get a wristband if you're 21 years of age or older, but 18-year-olds could still be in this bar?
Yeah.
That seems a little shady.
I mean, there are some places where you can do that. I know Chicago used to be like that years ago. I don't know if it still is or not. And again, I don't know which nightclub this was in. He plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder, but he was 20 at the time. He just now turned 21, and he thought everybody in there was 18 and over. So there's a lot of layers to this story here. You're right. Probably best just to let everything play out. But right now, like, if you were a relative of this guy, if that were your kid and you type in his name and everybody's calling him a pedophile when his argument was, listen, she was in the club. I thought she was 18. You had to be at least 18 to be in here. It's only 2 years younger than I am right now. I'm a 20-year-old dude. It's not like it's, he's 45 and she's 18. It's not like that. Again, it's a lot going on here. All right, coming up next, day 2. Biden Madness. We will announce yesterday's winner and have an all-new matchup. The in-season tournament. Biden against Kamala. That's next.
Hey, it's Rob. I started losing hair around my crown, and my hairline was starting to recede. I went to We Grow Hair Indy, and they helped grow my hair back. My friend Dave First, a sports broadcaster for over 20 years, also struggled with hair loss. Dave, what happened?
My thinning hair was bothering me. For me, I'm in the public eye. I'm a dad also, and I want to look and feel my best. And if I'm going to do something about my hair, I want to go with the best. We Grow Hair Indy. They really set the standard.
Dave, that's amazing. I had the same procedure, multi-unit hair grafting transplants, which gives you more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Call 317-522-2995 for your free hair and scalp evaluation. Find out if hair transplants or PRP is right for you.
If you're thinking about this, don't waste your time or money. Go to the experts.
Call 317-522-2995, 522-2995, or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com. The gold standard for hair restoration.
Indiana Pathways for Aging helps Hoosier Medicaid members age 60 and over get support at no additional cost to live life their way.
Mom's Parkinson's is progressing, and Pathways provides in-home support so she can be with family every day.
Pathways coordinates Medicaid and Medicare services. I'm getting help with meals, personal care, and transportation.
One day, I might choose a nursing home, but today, I have options with Pathways.
The program begins in summer of 2024. Call 87-PATHWAY-4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
Hi, this is Denny Smith. The professionals at C&J Water are once again offering unbelievable discounts for you to upgrade your current system or to create that dream water setup. Buy any one item, get 5% off the total. Buy any 2 items, enjoy a generous 10% off the total. Buy any 3 or more items, get an incredible 15% off your total purchase. Act now and make your water system goals a reality with C&J. They're local, they're exceptional, they're affordable. 317-733-SOFT or cnjwater.com.
You only have one heart, so let's keep it near everyone it beats for. Franciscan Health is leading the way as the only hospital in Indiana to be recognized as one of HealthGrade's 100 best hospitals for cardiac care and coronary intervention in 2024. We're delivering award-winning heart care in your neighborhood, near everyone you love, because our greatest reward is caring for you. Learn more about our compassionate, patient-focused approach to heart care. Visit us at franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
Pierce Jewelers is Carmel's full-service jewelry store where all watch repair, jewelry repair, appraisals, or custom design is done in-house. See them at piercejewelers.com.
Extended Black Friday. Up to 52% off all products, plus 10% in manufacturer rebates. For a limited time only, go to bwindow.com.
I'd rather be folding laundry.
This is gonna be fun.
Said no one ever. Also, no one enjoys wasting time in traffic. That's why we love saving you time. Matt Baird Traffic.
Backups are already starting.
On 93 WIBC.
All right, Matt Baird, what's going on?
Yeah, we're looking at the east side. It is southbound 465 at Washington, where we have a semi-fire. It looks like the fire is out, but the right lane is blocked, slowing us to I-70. West side crash, southbound 465 at I-70. So this is on the west side I-70. It's blocking the right shoulder, slowing us down there. At inbound 65 stop-and-go traffic, MLK to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by B-Window. The annual B-Window Black Friday sale has been extended. Get up to 52% off all products, plus 10% in manufacturer's rebates, and 20 months, no payments, no interest. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up a little bit after 5 o'clock, man, there's a lot going on. The Delphi situation had another deadline. Richard Essex will join us, I think, at 5:30. It's when he's slated to join us. And the latest on the hostage situation as well. So we've got a big 5 o'clock hour for you. Right now, 26 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, and let's do the in-season tournament of Biden Madness.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
And Hammer, remind people what inspired this in-season version of Biden Madness.
The NBA. The NBA decided this year they were going to have an in-season tournament, and the Pacers have actually done really well in it. So we thought, all right, if the NBA can do it, we will do the same.
Last night wasn't one of those games, was it?
Thank God. Pacers laid an egg last night, man.
Okay.
It was rough.
Last night's game was not part of the in-season tournament.
No. The Pacers are 4-0 in the in-season tournament so far, so they're advancing to the knockout round. So we thought, we're going to do Biden Madness. In-season tournament, Joe Biden against Kamala Harris. Okay. Some of your favorite sound bites competing against each other. So, let's recap yesterday's matchup. We had the number 8 seed, the lowest seed in this tournament, Kamala Harris giving her speech about the children of the community.
You know, when we talk about our children, I know for this group, we all believe that when we talk about the children of the community, they are the children of the community.
That's strong.
It is strong because, again, it sounded like Thornton Mellon talking about The Great Gatsby.
How do you characterize The Great Gatsby?
Well, The Great Gatsby was great.
Great Gatsby was great. Children of the community are the children of the community. That was going against the number 1 seed in this tournament, the winner of the first Biden Madness tournament we ever had, Joe Biden, trying to recite the Declaration of Independence.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
And by your Twitter votes, 78.2% to 21.8%.
Oh, wow.
The winner, you know the thing.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Yeah, it's a hard one to beat.
That's going to be tough.
Kamala, though, with the children of the community, it's so dumb.
So here's today's matchup. The number 3 seed, Kamala's catchphrase, the phrase that she uses in every speech unburdened by what has been.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. You know? What can be unburdened by what has been. 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 What can be.
These are all different speeches.
Unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. Who we can be unburdened by who we have been. What can be.
Oh, dear Lord, make it stop.
What has been. Where we can be unburdened by where we have been and unburdened by where we are right now. What can be unburdened by what has been.
So that's the number 3 seed. Wow. Kamala's crutch, her catchphrase, unburdened by what has been. Taking on the number 6 seed in our tournament, this is Joe Biden speaking at some award show, butchering LL Cool J's name and then calling him boy.
Two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's...
That was the lower seed, or I'm sorry, that was number 6, right?
Right.
And Kamala was what?
Unburdened by what has been as the 3 seed. LL Cool J's name being butchered and being called boy is the lower seed, the number 6 seed.
Isn't Kamala, could that be considered like her catchphrase? Like if you're going to see a Kamala speech, you want to hear, when you go back in the day, you want to hear The Rock say, "If you smell what The Rock," you know, if you go to see Rodney Dangerfield, as long as we're talking about Rodney Dangerfield back in the day, you know, you want to hear him say, "I get no respect."
Right.
If you're going to see a Kamala Harris speech, you want to hear, "Unburdened by what has been." Right?
Is the crowd waiting for it? There it is! Yeah! They stand up and cheer whenever she says that.
All right, is that live on Twitter?
Yes, you can vote right now on Twitter at Hammer and Nigel. The poll is live. Which clip do you want to move on? Kamala's catchphrase or LL Cool J's name being butchered and being called boy? Vote now at Hammer and Nigel.
So, Hammer, tell me you've heard Bill Demery, our retirement guy. We're both clients of Bill Demery. Tell me you've heard about this guy. He's helping Indy residents add an instant 13% bonus on top of their retirement savings.
So if my Ball State education is correct, that's like every $100 gets you an extra $13 more. Is that right?
Yeah, and it also adds up. I mean, you can get $13,000 for every $100,000.
That's a solid bonus right there.
It is. And so you'll get an extremely competitive return year after year as well. Over the last 10 years, it's been like 7% or something like that, backed by one of the world's largest insurance companies.
So if you want your 13% bonus from Bill Demery, your retirement guy, what do they have to do?
Oh, it's easy. Just call up Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. But it may not last long, so call 648-5120. That's 648-5120.
Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
Fall in Indy, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Edwina did. She called Rhino Shield.
Over the years, I've had to touch up the house. I just got to the point where I couldn't spend any more money on the outside of the house. And when I saw Rhino Shield, I thought that was the answer to my problem.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating, better than paint.
I've had painters here before, and it was usually quite a disaster with them leaving their equipment here. But Rhino Shield was right on it.
Our 25% off special is now extended through December. Plus, receive a free game console just by having Rhino Shield applied by spring of 2024.
The gentleman said, if you're interested, give me a call. And I said, honestly, can you come tomorrow?
Remember, you have until the end of December to receive 25% off. Plus, get your job done by spring of 2024 and receive a free game console. Restrictions apply. Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
You've heard the buzz about IT jobs in cybersecurity and AI, right? Why not prepare for a career in these fields and take advantage of the high demand? You could enjoy a more rewarding and recession-resistant lifestyle. Train in just a few short months at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Already in IT? Skill up for positions employers need to fill. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Man, I'm telling you, the job Galaxy Concrete Coatings did for my garage floors, nothing short of perfect. I had this old, cracked, gross, dirty garage floor that was hard to keep clean, had never been maintained, and Galaxy Concrete Coatings came in, put a new coating on that thing within as little as a day. It became 4 times stronger. They use, they don't use epoxy. They use polyurea. Now, epoxy is like that old stuff the other guys use. What they use is much better. It's 4 times as strong. It's the new premium standard for coatings. Plus, don't forget about Galaxy Concrete Coatings lifetime warranty. Not that you'll need it. Before and after photos at galaxyconcretecoatings.com. Make sure and give them a call, 751-9070.
Can you trust the government to protect you? We have political chaos, high inflation, global wars, no border protection, and our leadership telling you about pronouns in electric cars. It's time to take a hard look at protecting yourself and your family. It's time to call Oxford Gold Group. Whether you want to diversify against inflation or have gold on hand, you need to visit jessekellygold.com. Protect yourself with a visit to jessekellygold.com. That's jessekellygold.com.
Get ready to deck the halls this holiday season with sparkly presents from Hellsberg Diamond's Black Friday sale. Up to 65% off dazzling lab-grown diamond tennis bracelets, studs, pendants, and bands. And this is the gift that keeps on giving because you get free Bose headphones with a purchase of $699.99 or more. Don't miss out. Head to a Hellsberg store near you or Hellsberg.com. Offer valid November 21st through 29th. While supplies last, see online or in-store for details.
Your local news coming up in 2 minutes after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
A U.S. airlift for Gaza. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The White House says 27 tons of food aid and medical items have been sent to a hub in Egypt for delivery to Gaza, the first of 3 planned airlifts of humanitarian aid from the U.S. in the coming days. Earlier, another hostage and prisoner exchange, Hamas releasing 10 Israeli and 2 foreign nationals under an extended truce.
The 2-day extension to the ceasefire expires tomorrow, so with that will come another round of hostages tomorrow, and people here in Israel who have families that are being held by Hamas in Gaza just wait to see if their family member's name will be on that list.
Fox's Nate Foy. Today's release hours after a ceasefire violation that Israel and Hamas blamed on each other. The Israeli military says 3 explosions in northern Gaza injured several soldiers.
The IDF says none of the injuries are serious. The violence didn't escalate beyond those explosions and the resulting gun battle.
Mediators are in Qatar hoping for more extensions, with Secretary of State Blinken making another trip to the region this week. 3,000 car dealers in all 50 states are urging President Biden to tap the brakes on electric vehicle mandates.
The letter says while EVs are ideal for many people and appeal will grow over time, the reality is electric vehicle demand is not keeping up with the influx of vehicles arriving at dealerships, and battery electric cars are stacking up on lots despite price cuts and government incentives. The president has set a goal of having 50% of all new vehicle sales be electric by 2030.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. She spent a lifetime helping others and broke new ground along the way.
Mom asked Ed so many questions that he finally said that she should attend cabinet meetings.
Chip Carter calling his mom his hero as former First Lady Rosalind Carter was honored today in Georgia. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
These temps aren't typical. A few clouds and 27 degrees downtown. Your radar's clear, though, of 20 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Temperatures aren't normally this cold for this time of year.
Temperatures are running 10 to 15 degrees below normal for this time of the year across the Indianapolis area.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service says it will warm up later in the week. Rain's also possible Thursday. IMPD officers think it was a regular at Connor's Pub in Broad Ripple who shot a security guard this morning. John Herrick reports.
IMPD believes that man came into the pub, got into an argument, then pulled out a gun.
Shot rang out, and the subject that had the handgun when it came in then ran from this location.
IMPD Captain Don Weilhammer says he ended up shooting a security guard before running away. They're trying to find the shooter. The security guard was taken to a hospital and is expected to survive. John Herbeck, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
2 women from St. Louis are now in jail in southwestern Indiana after state troopers found 10 pounds of meth in the trunk of their car during a Monday traffic stop.
It's mind-blowing to me how many individuals that are transporting illegal drugs in their vehicles that continue to drive at high speeds and do other reckless things on our highways.
Sergeant Todd Ringel says the driver, Demetria Gray, is charged with dealing meth. Police say they also found a little bit of weed in the car. This week is National Tax Security Awareness Week. Sam Fritz reports on some tips from the IRS.
The IRS and Security Summit released a list of tips for taxpayers and tax professionals this week. It includes knowledge and potential scams that tend to increase around tax filing time. One of these scams is called spear phishing, where identity thieves will call tax professionals posing as clients trying to get them to reveal personal information. As a taxpayer, you should make sure any company filing on your behalf has a written data security plan, as required by federal law, and uses a multi-factor authentication to protect your information. Sam Fritz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Colts owner Jim Irsay has told The Athletic that running back Jonathan Taylor will have surgery on his injured thumb, and he's going to be out for a few weeks. A decision on whether or not to put him on injured reserve is going to be made later in the week. The Colts did not know about the injury until after their win against Tampa Bay Sunday. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Basements get a bad rap. Probably because so many of them are wet, leaky, and musty. Thanks to screenwriters, crawl spaces aren't very popular either. Michaelis is putting an end to the horror show. Their time-tested waterproofing systems eliminate and prevent water issues. Damp and moldy becomes clean and healthy. And their French drains, vapor barriers, and encapsulation techniques turn crawl spaces into a Disney set. Yeah, okay, that probably went a bit far. But with over 35 years experience, they have a lot of homeowners enjoying their basements again. Think Michaelis. And think how nice it would be to get rid of foundation cracks, basement leaks, damp smells, and all the nightmares that come with them. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
The traffic at the 5s at 5:05. How are the roads, Matt Bear?
Harrison on the northeast side, southbound 465 is stopped from I-69 down to East 56th Street. Also on the east side, southbound, a crash at Washington Street. It was a semi-fire. It is mostly cleared. So is the traffic. Looking at the south side, watch out for this one. It is southbound State Road 135 at South Meridian Street, crash at Banta, backing us up to Edgewood Avenue. Eastbound 72 downtown, stop and go from Belmont to Meridian, Illinois, and southbound 65 jams up at MLK to the North Split. Traffic sponsored by Family Dollar. Find more ways to celebrate the holiday season, like stocking stuffers and a great variety of holiday candy at great prices. Family Dollar, helping you do more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And a forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly clear for tonight. Low temperatures in the low 20s. Wednesday, plenty of sunshine. High temperatures returning into the mid-40s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. White House has confirmed 9 American hostages are still being held by Hamas in Gaza. My question here, Hammer, there has been several transfers of hostages during this multi-day ceasefire or pause. Why haven't more Americans been part of this initial release?
It's an interesting question.
I mean, what's Biden been doing?
Joe Biden has been talking. Anthony Blinken has been traveling, trying to get the ear of everybody involved. And the whole point of this pause, ceasefire, whatever you want to call it, I prefer pause, was to make sure that some of these hostages got out. Well, that has happened, but very few Americans. Now, 9 Americans are still being held hostage?
9 Americans, and not only was Joe Biden trying to negotiate over the weekend, but he was doing it from Nantucket. I mean, the fact that he was not even in the Oval Office at the White House while American hostages are still being held by these monsters tells me all you need to know about Joe Biden. He doesn't care about these people, and it's completely emblematic and indicative of his entire administration these past couple of years.
Well, this is par for the course, right? Joe Biden has left Americans overseas before, and he has no problem, apparently, doing it again. When the United States had that debacle of a withdrawal from Afghanistan, he left people behind. There were Americans that were left behind. Now, some chose to stay, but some wanted to get the hell out of there. And Joe Biden just drove off, flew off, and gave him the middle finger. And now, 9 American hostages. I grew up in a time, Nige, and again, maybe I'm dating myself. I'm 46 here, where having an American hostage held against their will was a pretty important deal in this country. And now, it's almost like, Joe Biden's got other things to worry about.
There's a couple of big, giant aircraft carriers that are sitting there in the Mediterranean, seeming not just hanging out there, not doing anything. And Joe Biden, again, if he's talking with Qatar, that's where the Qatar is like the mediation center for Hamas. I swear to God, if this whole thing doesn't wind up with the leaders from Hamas being dragged out of their fancy hotels in Qatar and being executed, it's not a victory, in my opinion, for Israel.
I'm a romantic. That sounds good to me. I'm fine with that. And I'm telling you, what's happening to these hostages, Hamas is trying to make this look like, we're treating them well. Look at the videos. They're smiling and waving. It's all smoke and mirrors, and I think everybody knows that. There was a dad of a hostage that was interviewed on CNN last night. He got his daughter back. 9-year-old Emily Hand was just released from Hamas terrorists. Her father was on CNN last night. Now, mind you, this young girl was kidnapped alongside her friend and her friend's mother at a sleepover on October 7th. The terrorists originally told this young lady, your family's dead, we've killed them all. So they've already played mental games with her. They have released her. She's been reunited with her dad. Listen to her dad's story of this awful, awful situation and how now his daughter can only whisper.
And the most shocking, disturbing part of the meeting was she was just whispering. Couldn't hear her. I had to put my ear on her lips, like this close, and say, what did you say?
She said, I thought you were kidnapped.
She thought I was in captivity. They thought they'd kidnapped me. She didn't know what the hell happened apart from that morning. So she's presumed everyone's kidnapped or killed or slaughtered, or she had no idea.
Well, one of the other reports I saw is that the Hamas terrorists were showing the hostages, the kids, footage of the actual attacks that day, making them watch what unfolded that day. Horrific in and of itself, making children watch that, some of it witnessing firsthand.
And I don't know what has happened to this young woman in question here, this 9-year-old, but she can only whisper right now. Ugh. What has gone on behind closed doors? These are the monsters that we're dealing with, and there are 9 Americans still being held by these people, and Joe Biden's not really giving a damn. And that's frustrating. Anthony Blinken, the Secretary of State, is expected to return to Israel later this week in hopes of extending the ceasefire. This will be his 3rd trip to the region since the war began. But according to the press release from the White House, there's nothing here about American hostages.
Look, if it were me, I had somebody, a loved one, being held hostage, I'd be all right. Yeah, ceasefire. Let these Palestinian criminals go. Swap them. I don't care how many. But at the same time, man, there has got to be a resolution. There's no way Hamas can be allowed to exist and run things there. I hope Israel does not submit to international pressure coming from and including America to stop eradicating Hamas from Israel. That's got to happen.
No way should Israel stop.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. You finished the job. You want to wipe Hamas off? Do it. Do it now. Because, again, this attack that took place on October 7th happened during a ceasefire. Ceasefires mean nothing to these people. Pauses mean nothing to these people. They just use it for a chance to reload and replan. And I understand the argument that, we have to get these hostages out of there. But I also, and it's unpopular, I think, but I also understand the other argument that you're setting a precedence now that Americans and Jews and Israelis can be kidnapped and bad actors will get whatever they want in return.
What happens when they run out of hostages?
Great question. Questions we don't have the answer to right now. How about some good news, Nigel? You need some good news here?
Please.
According to the TSA, more than 2.9 million people traveled and were screened at airports in the United States the Sunday after Thanksgiving, setting an air traffic record.
Almost 3 million people.
I get the economy stinks, but we are a group, we are a country that when it comes time to see family, we will find a way to see some family.
I couldn't imagine going to an airport the day after Thanksgiving, or I'm sorry, that Sunday after Thanksgiving. I'm telling you, the best times to travel are on the holidays. If you can make that possible, the airports are empty, the airplane is yours.
And on the heels of that report from the TSA, yesterday was Cyber Monday, and that was the biggest online shopping day ever. According to Adobe Analytics, Americans spent $12.4 billion shopping online yesterday, Nige.
The one day of the year when things are actually cheap in this country.
Right. Marked down Cyber Monday. So for those who spent some time on Amazon, here's a little tribute from Hammer and Nigel Records.
Here comes Amazon right to my front door. Bags and boxes, soon as he knocks, it's Christmas time once more. Basketballs and Barbie dolls, Grandpa needs a nightlight to help him see when he goes to pee. Yes, Amazon comes tonight.
Yep.
Here comes Amazon, killing my shopping list. My bank account just can't keep up. My spouse is gonna be mad. Christmas trees and DVDs. My credit card is scorched. Now I just hope some worthless dope doesn't steal it all off of my porch.
Thank you.
Go.
Little tribute from Hammer and Nigel Records. Matt Bear.
All right, Hammer on the northeast side. This is going into Lawrence, southbound 465 at East 56th Street. This is a crash in the middle of the interstate. It looks like a semi is involved in one of the vehicles. Could be leaking fluid right now. Traffic in the meantime, stop back to I-69, and then we are stop and go all the way back to Keystone Avenue for a delay time of 28 minutes. You can expect that to get worse. Inbound 65, stop and go from MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70, slow to down down from Belmont to the south split, and a crash on State Road 135 south of Meridian at Banta Road. Southbound lanes backed up to Edgewood Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Macy's Backstage. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about the perfect holiday gifts? $25 and under, like matching family PJs, fragrance sets, toys, and more. Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at a Macy's Backstage near you. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
26 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Well, if you're a homeowner, you know there's lots to focus on, lots of responsibilities of owning your own home. Like I had to have my driveway replaced over the summer because it was falling apart. What I didn't have to worry about was my American Standard air conditioning unit. I'm an American Standard customer, and if you need American Standard service, Hammer will tell you who you need to check out.
How about Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling in Franklin? If you're in Johnson and the surrounding counties, Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling is your trusted American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. Call Marshall today for an honest and fair quote in Johnson County and the surrounding counties, and make sure that furnace is safe and ready to roll for the cold weather coming this winter. Visit callthemarshallnow.com, callthemarshallnow.com, or call 738-5940. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
Electric vehicles are here to stay. And if you're looking for an electric vehicle, Andy Moore Ford is your EV headquarters. More selection. Get to Andy Moore Ford to shop the Mach-E, the E-Transit, the F-150 Lightning in stock, and more arriving daily. Save more at the pump when you switch to an Andy Moore Ford EV. Say hello to more rebates with federal and state incentives. You could save more. How's over $7,500 sound to you? But the benefits don't end there. Purchasing an EV with Andy Moore means you can take advantage of excellent services like more to your door, more peace of mind with over a decade of experience in selling and servicing electric vehicles. Andy Moore Ford's EV experts are here to answer all of your questions, from sales to service, parts to maintenance. Check out Andy Moore Ford. Find them in Plainfield at 2713 East Main Street, 2713 East Main Street. Andy Moore Ford. Andy Moore, M-O-H-R. AndyMooreFord.com. That's AndyMooreFord.com.
Get ready, Indiana. It's Medicare annual enrollment period. So why not make enrolling easier with United Healthcare? Whether you choose our online tools or over-the-phone support, United Healthcare will help you compare options so you can choose a plan with confidence. This is Medicare made for Indiana, trusted everywhere. Explore our wide range of plans by calling United Healthcare today at 1-855-MEET-UHC. That's 1-855-MEET-UHC. Annual enrollment begins October 15th and ends December 7th, so call today.
Hammer and Nigel here. When it comes to health, there are numbers every man needs to know, including your testosterone number. We recommend Low T Center. They make it quick and easy to get your levels checked, and it's only $25. Walk in, take a simple blood test, and you'll know results in about 25 minutes.
Low T can make you feel tired and grumpy. It can cause lack of motivation and drive. It can raise cholesterol, cause weight gain, loss of muscle mass. LowTCenter.com. Book online right now. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
With the holidays upon us, the increase in traveling, shopping, and connecting online also heightens the need to protect your identity and finances with LifeLock. Identity thieves see this time of year as an opportunity to drain your accounts, open new loans in your name, and damage your financial future. LifeLock detects and alerts you to threats you might miss on your own. Don't let the busy holiday season catch you off guard. Save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, yeah!
Former CNN host and Thumb lookalike, Brian Stelter. We all remember the Thumb, right?
And the reason we call him the Thumb is if you look at a picture of his stupid, fat, bald head, and you put up your thumb right next to it, they look the same.
Identical. Anyway, the Thumb has a new book out. It's a new book about Fox News.
Oh, God.
And the lies Fox News have been telling for years, and the inner workings of Fox News behind the scenes, and the corruption and the controversy. Well, it's totally flopped in its first week. So less than... I mean, what would you guess? I mean, the last book, to give you an idea, the last book Stelter wrote was something about Trump, and he did about 26,000 copies the first week.
That's when he was employed at CNN. That was on TV every day. I'll say about half that, maybe 13.
Under 4,000 copies.
Oh!
Are you okay with this? Under 4,000 copies.
Yes, I'm
thumb.
okay with this. I love this because Brian Stelter is one of the great zeros of all time. I mean, this guy, I get CNN was a bottom feeder in the ratings, but you couldn't find anybody else to cover the media than this fat, ball-headed, sensitive, crying eunuch that you put on television every day named Brian Stelter.
That was his specific job on CNN, was to kind of cover the media, right? I mean, pretty much all he'd do was talk about Tucker Carlson. That was his job.
Well, and Michael Avenatti.
Yeah, right.
Because Brian Stelter had a very low-rated weekend program, and he was all in on Michael Avenatti for president.
Yeah.
That was like his thing. He wanted Avenatti to be the president of the United States.
Stormy Daniels, disgraced lawyer, also tried to shake down Nike.
Right.
And blackmail them.
Shocking. They had better lawyers. Nike. Good Lord. Yes, I'm okay with this. The book totally flopped. Nobody cares what Brian Stelter thinks anymore. And remember when CNN Plus was going to be a thing, the streaming network?
Right.
He was supposed to have a bigger role in that. Can you imagine paying extra in your cable bill, Nige, to have Brian Stelter on your screen on demand?
Horrible idea.
Let's take a trip down memory lane here for those who might not remember the thumb.
Okay.
This is a little tribute we put together.
Avenatti has just been convicted on 3 counts for alleged extortion and other crimes. I've been getting some grief from Sean Hannity this weekend, speaking of Fox, right? From Hannity for once suggesting that I thought Avenatti could be a serious candidate for president. So give me a media critique. Was that stupid on my part?
Yes, it was.
Well, Brian Stelter has since left the New York Times. He's now the House eunuch at CNN.
Every day we're trying to keep track of the drip, drip, drip of the Russia investigation.
Oh, Russian collusion.
Trump supporters are in a cult.
Okay.
Do you believe that he's colluding with Russia?
I wish I could just say no.
It's very emotional.
Here's that weird little guy on CNN.
It wasn't until this Friday night that I hit a wall. And that's when the tears came. So we have nothing to compare this with. So it can be incredibly alarming. It can be incredibly depressing. Media can help. Making media can help. The emotions are real for everybody. They're a big part of the story.
Oh, barf.
Less than 4,000 copies of his horrible book sold.
Okay, if you got small kids in the car, might want to turn this one down just for a minute, because we're talking about some Christmas-related stuff and someone that may or may not be coming down the chimney on Christmas Eve, okay? So we got some kids. Maybe turn it down just real quick. There's a video, it's gone viral, of this dad who's confronting and roughing up some a-hole dressed in a Grinch costume, holding a big Santa is fake sign in front of an elementary school.
We shouldn't lie to children. Hey.
Not here today, please, sir.
Knock it off.
This is the altercation here.
From my stuff. Jerk off. Got your license plate number. Got your license plate.
Are you okay with what just transpired there?
Am I okay with the angry dad beating this guy up? Yes, I am.
Yeah, and he didn't really even beat him up. He tried to take the sign. The sign said, again, if you got small kids that are worried about Santa, just turn down the volume here. But the sign said, Santa is fake, Jesus is real. And he's standing outside an elementary school in a Grinch costume holding it up. And the guy didn't really even beat him up. He just grabbed the sign from him.
Well, he grabbed the guy, too. He ripped the sign away, grabbed the guy, kind of threw him around. They tussled a little bit. But, yeah, I'm okay with the guy roughing the Grinch up. I'm not okay with this moron standing outside with a sign trying to do this to the kids. Every once in a while, there is somebody that needs punched in the face. And in this case, I feel like it's the guy with the sign here.
Yeah, And the police couldn't do anything, by the way. He was standing on a public sidewalk, which was across the street from the school, but it's where kids were getting dropped off.
Right.
So it wasn't like he was on private property. He was on a public sidewalk, and the police couldn't do anything about it.
Because it's not illegal doesn't mean that it's right.
I know.
I'm sure I could probably stand on the opposite side of a church, selling devil memorabilia. Doesn't make it right.
Get your Slayer T-shirts here, ladies and gentlemen.
Pitchforks. Get them while they're hot. Pitchforks. Who wants one? Come on.
Actor Robert De Niro, a notorious anti-Trump hater, spoke at the Gotham Awards and is now complaining that his acceptance speech blasting Donald Trump was cut and edited from the teleprompter. Quoting De Niro, "How dare they do that?" Are you okay with this?
No, this dude wears me out. Like, his act is so played out. I get it. You don't like Donald Trump. But instead of going to this award show, and I don't even know what the hell the Gotham Awards are, and accepting your award and thanking them for the honor, you made it all about yourself. You made it all about Donald Trump and how you hate him and the people that invited you there to honor you. You flip the script and say, how dare they edit my Trump speech out? Maybe they didn't want politics to be a big part of their award show, numbnuts. You're not the cab driver. You're not Mr. Tough Guy anymore. You're a senior citizen. You're yelling at the cloud. People are tired of this act.
Not only that, but Robert De Niro is one of those guys who says, I'd punch Trump in the face, or he just calls him derogatory names and doesn't have any really thing to back it up with because he doesn't have a writer. He's used to people feeding him lines and writing him and making him sound like a tough guy all his life. But when it comes down to it, he has nothing to say. One more. We got time for one more here?
Let's do one more.
In a recent survey, 64% of men say their number one dating red flag is identifying as a communist. Are you okay with this?
No, this is so full of crap. So full of crap. Because I've got such very little faith in the younger dating community, they even know what a communist is. This woke young generation, there's no way that 64% could identify a communist. And let me ask you this, Nige. Even if you knew somebody was a communist, but she was super hot and she was into you, would you take her home?
I think I could make an exception. Yeah.
If you're out at a club and Kate Upton is out there and she's single and she's into you and she's wearing a shirt with the hammer and sickle on it, and you know 100% she is a communist, is that a deal breaker?
Not at all. Not at all.
Coming up next, we're going to chat with one of the best in the business, Richard Essex, investigative reporter for Wish TV. He's got more information on this latest deadline in the Delphi murder case. We will speak to him when we come back. Right now, let's break down and have a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A security guard shot, 26 degrees and cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. You've got a clear radar low of 20 tonight. A few clouds going to stick around as well. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:30. There was a shooting at Connor's Pub in Broad Ripple Tuesday morning. IMPD says a frequent customer showed up and caused some problems.
And management asked him to leave. And then by the security guard and bouncer started having a verbal confrontation because the subject did not want to leave.
IMPD Captain Don Wildhammer says the man shot a security guard and ran away. Police are still trying to find him. The security guard's in the hospital and expected to be okay. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is criticizing Republicans for holding up the passage of legislation that would allow the U.S. to support Israel, the Ukraine, and the Indo-Pacific.
A handful of Republicans have dangerously tried to link Ukraine aid and make our support for democracy in the West a pivotal issue that history will remember us for, conditional on passing hard right border policies similar to H.R. 2.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says he told President Biden there would be no military help without funding for U.S. border security. The life of Rosalind Carter was honored today. Fox's Gernal Scott reports.
Grandson Jason Carter told stories of where Rosalind Carter went and who she met. but he was especially proud of what she did to bring attention to mental health, which has advanced in the last few years. But consider,
she decided in 1970 to tackle the ancient stigma associated with mental illness.
He said that decision saved lives,
including in my own family.
Part of Rosalind Carter's legacy that lives on is an endowed chair in mental health at Emory University's Rollins School of Public Health, which, in 2000, was the first of its kind. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
The Indianapolis Colts may be without Jonathan Taylor for a while. The Colts running back hurt his thumb, but the team did not find out until after their win against Tampa Bay Sunday. Owner Jim Irsay told The Athletic Taylor will be out a few weeks because he's having surgery on that thumb. A decision on whether or not to put him on IR has not been made yet. That's expected to happen later in the week. The chances for rain return in a few days, says Andrew White with the National Weather Service.
So we're expecting rain to arrive again Thursday evening into Thursday night. Pretty widespread rain Thursday night into Friday.
White says temperatures will warm up as the week goes on. With traffic at 5:32, here's Matt Bear.
Hey, Harrison, we're stopped on the northwest side. Northbound 465 after 79th up to 865. Eastbound 465. Now, this is the delay that starts at Keystone Avenue. Stop and go traffic all the way down into Lawrence to East 56th Street. Because of a crash, it's pushed to the left shoulder, so it's out of the interstate, but traffic is still awful. Inbound 65, stop and go. MLK to Meridian Penn. Northbound lanes out of the north split slow until 21st Street, then eastbound 72 downtown jammed up from Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by B Window. The annual B Window Black Friday sale has been extended. Get up to 52% off all products plus 10% in manufacturer's rebates and 20 months, no payments, no interest. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And a forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly clear for tonight. Low temperatures in the low 20s. Wednesday, plenty of sunshine. High temperatures returning into the mid-40s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a special guest on the hotline.
Richard Essex is an investigative reporter for our news partners over at Wish TV. Richard has been one of the folks following this Delphi murder trial and story from the very beginning. Richard, it feels like every day there's a new headline coming out in regards to this murder trial, this murder case. Yesterday, there was a deadline that the judge had to meet. Take us through what yesterday was about.
Well, yesterday was, there's two things you need to know about what happened yesterday. Was both of the former defense attorneys for Richard Allen had filed a motion. They wanted some documents that they thought needed to be released, and they wanted the judge basically taken off of the case. And so they had sent had been a big discussion in the judge's chambers at the last hearing with the defense attorneys, the judge, and the prosecutor. And that transcript had been sent to the Supreme Court because there was some, they were both claiming that the judge forced them off the case, ambushed them, didn't give them a chance to prepare. So the judge is really responding to the transcripts or that conversation in her chambers at the last hearing in Allen County. So reading through all of these filings that came through yesterday, the Attorney General sent one in and the judge sent one in yesterday. When you start digesting all this, starts to feel very personal. It's starting to feel like it's not just professional standards that we're looking at, but personal standards that each party is trying to hold another one to. And when you start reading through the judge's response yesterday, she makes, of course, a very clear argument on why she should remain on the case. And I think the Attorney General did say that she should remain on the case, and that these guys are probably this is probably going to be the end of the road for them. This will probably be the last time we hear from them.
Back up just a little bit here. Take me through why the Attorney General is involved in this, and what exactly did the Attorney General have to say? Well, the Attorney General is involved because he does represent the state in all legal matters, and he was kind of brought in as that's just
part of the function of that job. And his brief doesn't really have a bearing, so to speak. It does hold some weight, but it's really more of an opinion. Here's my opinion. And matter of fact, I'm looking at it right now. It's a 21-page document, and it's very well written, and it makes a very good legal reason on why the judge should remain on the case, and why the defense attorneys probably are not going to rejoin this case.
Why did the judge in the first place say, "Hey, yeah, Rossi, Baldwin, you guys need to go"? Well,
it was over leaked documents, and there had been the crime scene documents that had been released from Baldwin's office. And then Baldwin also admitted that he accidentally emailed some documents to the wrong person. So the judge is looking at this as not one, but two leaks of information, sensitive information from his office. And so the best way to describe this is the lawyer is the captain of that ship, and he is responsible for everything and everyone on that ship. And if somebody acts inappropriately in the engine room, he's responsible. So when you look at it in that kind of a context, they may not have been the best caretakers of this evidence that was put into their hands.
Richard Essex is an investigative reporter for Wish TV, joining us to talk about the latest in the Delphi murder trial. Richard, I've said from the very beginning, it feels like the defense attorneys of Richard Allen want to make this a circus. They want to make this as chaotic as possible because maybe they feel like that's their only chance. That was my opinion from the very beginning. If somebody were to believe that, have they succeeded in creating exactly what they wanted? Have they created a circus with this trial?
I think so. That the one brief that they sent out, the one filing they sent out that brought up the odious and the ritualistic killing, that seemed very I've never seen anything like it. And everybody I've talked to, nobody has ever seen a filing, like that, where you don't know what to make of it. And, accusing these prison guards of being members of some odious, society, and then naming other people, other possible suspects in this crime. I mean, not just referring to them as person A or person B, but I mean, naming people in that. It seemed like they were, I don't know if they were stepping out of bounds, but it seemed very irregular to me. And when they did issue a press release just minutes before the gag order was originally put on this case. And, their argument was the prosecutor has had 4 years of press conferences, and they've been able to get their information, their side of the story out, and they haven't had a chance to explain their side of the case. So in the beginning, I think everybody kind of gave them a little bit of a break, so to speak. Let's hear what they have to say. And then everything was clamped down. And they haven't said a word, since that gag order came out.
So Richard Essex, investigative reporter, longtime reporter for Wish TV. You've seen dozens, if not hundreds, of court cases. You've been in hundreds of courtrooms. Have you seen anything, generally speaking, quite like what's unfolded over the past few years with this case?
No, I've never seen anything like this. And in most court cases when you go into, everything is very squared away. Everything's very orderly, and the prosecution makes their case, the defense makes their case, and there's the back and forth, but not this kind of paper, these kind of accusations and filings, and
leaking of crime scene photos.
Yeah, that in itself is. I have had those described to me, and they're awful, and they should have never have gotten out. And I don't think anybody has ever said that Baldwin did that intentionally. Somebody violated that trust with that office, with that person, took those pictures, and then disseminated them out. So Baldwin didn't have a direct hand in it. But then again, it's his ship, and he should have had a tight seal on what was going on in his office.
Richard, have we heard from the family members of Abby and Libby? Do we know their thoughts on all of this stuff going on?
We have not, and they have been pretty tight-lipped over the years and haven't really spoken much about the investigation. They have kept their comments more about their family and these two girls. So they have respected the gag order and not said anything. And I know people have tried to approach them. As a matter of fact, I was just on the phone with somebody a few minutes ago that has talked to both sides of the family many, many times. And it's not their time or their place right now to be saying anything. They need this thing to get to trial. And they need to see the right person or the right people get to trial and this case settled.
Have you heard anything about the suspect's health, his state of his mental and physical acuity?
Yeah, the last time we saw him, he looked better than he had when we saw him back in June at the Carroll County hearing, when he looked very frail. And, of course, he's been on a hunger strike. He's in Westville Correctional in maximum security, and, granted, the guy is accused of a heinous crime, but Westville Correctional has a reputation of not being the most friendly place for prisoners. But the last time we did see him, he did look like he's maybe been eating and, maybe even gaining some weight back. He looked better than he did in the past times. So they're going to keep him at Westville. I think that issue has been settled. He's going to stay at Westville, and they're going to bring him back and forth when the trial starts next October.
Richard, last thing here before we let you go. So what's next? Are we waiting on the Indiana Supreme Court now to get us some information about the judge, or is there something else? What's next?
Now, the Supreme Court will need to make a ruling. They will, and I don't know how that process works. That's been one of the things on my list I need to find out. There's a good chance that they meet behind closed doors. They read everything that has come to them, and then they will make a decision. And they have got a lot of paperwork to go through. But you have to remember, when the Supreme Court takes on this case or this particular issue, they're not looking at things outside of what has been presented to them. They're not looking at Richard Allen. They're not looking at the charges that he's facing. They're only looking at the allegations that have been made by the defense lawyers and by the judge.
Where can we get more information?
WishTV.com. And, of course, you can watch Wish TV every single day at 5 and 6. Now, we don't have anything on this story today. I think we'll probably give this a couple of days and see how things shake out.
When there's news, nobody better to bring it to you than Richard Essex,
Thanks, Richard.
investigative reporter, Wish TV. You're the best. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, above your eyes, below your eyes, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor, you've visited urgent care over and over again, and it's always the same thing. Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and nasal sprays. But the sinus infections keep coming back. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with your sinus infections anymore. Set an appointment today with Indianapolis Sinus Center and find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
When it comes to illegal immigration, there's only one true conservative running for U.S. Senate this year. That's Trump-endorsed Jim Banks. Jim Banks has a plan, and it's simple. If you're caught in this country illegally, you're sent back to where you came from. Got that? No? Okay, well, let me repeat it. When Jim Banks is the senator, his policy on illegal immigration will be as follows. If you're in the country illegally, you're going back to where you came from. Mi casa is no longer tu casa, my friends. Jim Banks, Navy veteran, Trump endorsed. A simple plan for dealing with illegal immigration. Jim Banks for U.S. Senate. American Leadership PAC is responsible for the content of this message. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.americanleadershippac.org.
Whether it's driving a race car, building a business, or just being mom, you gotta solve problems. I'm former IndyCar driver Sarah Fisher, and when my problem was foot pain, the Good Feet store became my problem solver. Having the Good Feet store on your team is like having a great pit crew, helping to keep the feet and body in alignment and well balanced. Now I drive, walk, run, and live life pain-free. At the Good Feet store, they know that foot pain can impede everyday life. It's a constant battle that can affect you physically and emotionally, putting a strain on everything from small tasks to big adventures. As Indy's premier arch support specialist, the Good Feet store enhances the quality of life for anyone desiring to live life without limits. My Good Feet arch supports help me cruise through my days in comfort. See how they work for you with a free, personalized fitting at either one of our 2 Indianapolis locations, or make an appointment at goodfeet.com.
Inspired by family traditions and peaceful harmony. Inspired by the reason for the season, our Savior's birth and his gift of grace. Inspired by joyfully serving you as we do Christ in our Franciscan tradition. This Christmas season, we invite you to join us in our prayer for peace. Merry Christmas from all of us at Franciscan Health.
Start saving with Comcast Business Mobile, all on the most reliable 5G network. Most reliable based on RootMetrics US report. Results vary. Not an endorsement.
Life is a collection of moments that last forever, so make them matter and make them count with a symbol of everlasting love. A diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
The latest local news, commentary from Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, podcasts. Listen to the station live whenever, wherever, online at WIBC.com.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, this is a crash on the northwest side, northbound 465 and I-865. And right now, 2 left lanes are blocked, stopping traffic back to West 79th Street. Lawrence crash southbound 465 at East 56th Street. The left lane is blocked, and this is causing stop-and-go traffic back to Allisonville Road. Then we jam to Keystone Avenue. Inbound 65 loaded from MLK to Meridian Penn, and eastbound 72 downtown slow from Tibbs Avenue to the South Split. Traffic sponsored by B-Window. The annual B-Window Black Friday sale has been extended. Get up to 52% off all products, plus 10% in manufacturer's rebates in 20 months. No payments, no interest. Visit bwindow.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
26 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Here's another lewd dude in the news. And speaking of lewd nude dudes in the news, Hunter Biden is going to testify in front of the House Oversight Committee. We'll have all those details for you coming after 6 o'clock.
That's a perfect segue right there. 100% perfect segue.
But that's not the lewd nude dude in the news we're talking about here. This one's disturbing. This is police say a man stripped naked on a Disneyland ride. Disneyland's in California, right?
Disney World's in Florida. Disneyland is out in Anaheim.
This guy got naked on It's a Small World.
Oh, seems kind of fitting. Like if you watch the video and you see his genitalia.
And you can see it.
That's the perfect name of the ride for this guy. It's a small world.
Let me guess. Drugs? Alcohol? Meth? What are we talking here?
They're just using the blanket of drugs.
Oh, yeah.
Drugs. So officials with the Anaheim Police Department responded to the theme park around 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon after people were calling and complaining that there was a naked man in the water in a It's a Small World ride. Now, if you've ever been to Disney World or Disneyland, it's basically the same thing.
It's a small
you get on this little
world.
ride and you go through the water and the music plays. Well, there's video that shows buck naked dude waiting in the water near the ride's entrance as a worker tries to approach him, and his clothes were sitting like in a pile on the floor.
How are you explaining that to little Johnny?
Well, it is a small world. Then you point at his crotch. Before he got totally naked, before he got buck naked, if you will, he just had like underpants on and was walking around nude singing Christmas songs.
Well, tis the season, I guess. There you go.
This has been another lewd,
nude, dude. I mean, that does suck. I mean, really, you're trying to have a peaceful moment with your kids. I mean, these are small. I mean, this guy needs to go to jail for a long time for exposing himself to a minor.
Well, he was arrested for indecent exposure and being under the influence of a controlled substance. He was also taken to a hospital.
I just wonder if there's any additional charges you could tack on because he was in front of little kids.
Being a creep.
Yeah.
Is that a charge?
That is.
If being a creep were a charge, then this guy needs to have the book thrown at him. All right, coming up next, will Hunter Biden appear in front of the House Judicial Committee, and is it tailgate worthy? We will break it all down next.
Hey, Hammer.
Big Nige.
Hey, did you hear Bill Demery? That's our retirement guy. We're clients. He's helping Indy residents add an instant 13% bonus on top of their savings for retirement.
So every $100 gets you an extra $13?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It adds up to, you can get like $13,000 for every $100,000 in retirement.
That's solid. I will absolutely take that.
It is, and you get an extremely competitive return year after year. Over the last 10 years, it's been like 7%, and don't worry about anything because it's backed by one of the world's largest insurance companies.
And again, Bill Demery is our retirement guy. He needs to be your retirement guy. So if listeners want to take advantage of that 13% bonus, where do they go?
Just pick up the phone, call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. It's not going to last long, though. 648-5120. 648-5120.
Past performance is no guarantee of future returns.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Zerorez, and how about a good carpet?